starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Cool Reviews. And tonight, man, Black Men Speak Out. Hey, we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on right now. And hey, you know what it is. It's Wednesday night. And it's time to get it in, man. Hey, you know who up on the panel. But hey, if y'all don't know who these fellas are on the panel, hey, right now they gonna introduce themselves, and we gonna get it cracking. So what's good, everybody?
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jason Barber, educator, right here. Uh, we're gonna get popping. Y'all ready to join in? Make sure when you come in, hit the like button on your way in, and feel free to comment, y'all. Your comment may be put on the screen.
Hey man, this your boy, right? I come in sometimes for a short time, not a long time, but I'm here.
Already. Shoot, hey, appreciate y'all for showing up. Shoot, man. So hey, we could jump right in it, man. So what's the first topic?
Uh, do y'all think at the state of our public schools, is it better for parents to homeschool their kids?
Okay, so personally, I believe if you have the ability to, then yes, it is. It's actually a wonderful thing to do to homeschool your kids. I think it for one, you have more control over the environment as a whole. Uh you don't have to worry about them getting indoctrinated with certain type of things that come from public schools from the teachers. Is to me, and when you statistically, what is shown statistically that kids that are homeschooled are actually doing better than a lot of the kids that's actually going to public school. So to me, yes, I think homeschooling is a better option.
So why do you think that is? Why do you think that those kids are typically doing better?
Because they're actually in a natural environment. When you look how school is structured, especially in America, you got to go in a classroom. You got to sit in there for in a classroom sometimes for hours at a time, just sitting there. You got this. You can't move around. You can't talk much. You really can't be free to move. It's really almost like being tortured, to be honest with you. And then at the same time, the person that's teaching you don't care much about you. They don't have to. They're there for a check. Also, the teachers, I just don't trust most of the teachers, to be honest with you. And so I just think overall, uh, just naturally, I think even in nature, even in the wild, you know, animals, everything teach their own kids. But for some reason, with humans, we send our kids to be taught by strangers. So if you have the opportunity to homeschool your kids, I do think it's a better idea.
Go ahead, right? Because I'm up here notifying people that we on.
I think it's best to, now what I know now, I don't think kids should have. I don't. If I could homeschool my kid, I would. I think public school doesn't help a kid. It just creates another worker. It doesn't create a thinker. It just creates another worker. So yeah, I'm not a supporter of public schools at all. Just because it's like making another robot, man. Just another name and number and the grand scheme of things.
We need somebody up here that's gonna dispute what you guys are saying, or at least challenge y'all's point of view.
Hmm.
Um, what do y'all say to the people that says? What do y'all say to the people that say they're paying their? Because I know if any of y'all are homeowners or business owners, y'all get directly a school district bill. Everybody's paying into it, but some people don't know they paying school taxes because they just renting, so they don't know that some of that money go to school tax because their landlord got to take some of that money and pay the school taxes. So, so we all are paying into the school district. If you work, or if you rent homes, or rent an apartment, or you buying a house, or you have business, you paying to fund the school district. What do y'all say to the people that say, "Hey, we spending our money, so why should we have to homeschool our kids?"
So you feel like we are paying to support the school district?
Say that again.
You said we're paying to support the school district?
Yeah, school taxes. We pay school taxes. That's how the school district in each city get funded.
Well, from my understanding, just where I come from, the state pays the school per student per day, right? Um, I'm not saying that's not true. What you're saying,
Wait a
it
minute.
just went from that's why they won't let you check your kid out before 12 because the state pay per head per day. That's how the schools get their
Yeah,
funding.
yeah, no. The state lends a certain amount of money to pay, like you said, based on the student count and all that.
Right,
They fund a certain portion,
right,
but the city, the people who pay taxes for property
yeah.
taxes, the property taxes funds
Oh,
the
I didn't know. I don't
majority
pay
of
property taxes, so I'm tax exempt. So I didn't know.
because you're military or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
Hey,
but
you
you
still
still
got
pay them. Like, let's just say you rent. If you rent anything, you still paying them. If you renting your apartment, if you rent, other people don't know. If you rent an
yeah,
apartment or a house, or if you renting your commercial building to put your business, part of that money that the landlord takes from you in
yeah.
rent, he has to pay property taxes.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Okay,
and part of them property taxes, I got both. I get two bills. I get a bill from my barbershop business, and I get school taxes there, and I get school taxes at home I
okay.
own a home.
Hey, cool. What you was about to say?
Oh, yeah. I'm 100% permanent and total as well.
Huh?
But I still get a tax bill. It's not property taxes, but if I'm not mistaken,
Hold on, I
I
can't hear
think
you,
I
babe.
still do pay because I think my tax bill is like $400,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
thought school taxes was a part of that. But I want to play something right quick. Y'all tell me what you
Okay.
think.
All right.
School taxes are paid by different groups depending on how a state or local government funds its schools. But in many parts of the United States, property owners pay school property taxes directly through their annual property tax bills. This is often the largest local source of school funding. Renters usually pay them indirectly because landlords often factor property taxes into the rent they charge. Businesses that own commercial property also pay property taxes that help fund local schools. State governments contribute funding from state taxes, such as income taxes or sales taxes, depending on the state. The federal government provides a smaller share of school funding through federal taxes, mainly for specific programs and students with particular needs. So, while homeowners are often the most visible taxpayers for local schools, school funding generally comes from a combination of local property taxes, state taxes, and federal taxes. Everyone who pays taxes contributes in some way, though the mix varies by state and local district.
And that's that was just them explaining how school taxes are paid.
Yeah, that's what I just said, ain't it?
Yeah, but the thing is though, honestly, I guess there's no way to verify it. If you don't have kids, you shouldn't have to pay school taxes.
Um, I've pondered that thought before. Or should you start paying after your kids graduate, or
That
like
too.
you should become exempt, but they looking at it just like anything else. It's a pool. It's a pool. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, if other people kids don't get educated, then that's going to affect society, and then you'll be affected by the society, right? So it's just like a community thing. And like any other taxes, it's a lot of things we pay taxes for that we don't even use. You see what I'm saying? But you just never know when you're going to use it or if you're going to use it. So
Yeah, y'all just gave me something new, man. You know, I never even knew that, man. Yeah, I never knew that.
yeah, your uncle been taking care of you so well. Shoot, y'all gonna make me go join the military.
Hey, I wish it was that easy, boy. You don't understand the sacrifice, boy. You don't get it till you get out of bed and both your feet don't work.
Man, look, had to go
College,
check on
yeah,
something today.
yeah,
Man, what you talking about, boy?
Shoot.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
I stepped out the bed the other day, boy. I stepped down on my foot. Lord have mercy, Jesus, boy. Hey, boy, look. Hey,
yeah,
I need to go borrow my uncle's foot or something, boy.
Boy, I
yeah.
tell you, you sound like me. I was at the VA hospital, like, hey, y'all need to do something. This ain't right.
Man, the crazy thing about it, when you do go in there, man, you see a Joker with no arm. The Joker got no legs, man. Hey, boy, it put things in perspective. It be like, man, look, I ain't gonna complain about that little foot pain, boy. Hey, let me just get what I need to get and go.
Hell yeah, man. But
So
oh yeah,
uh, let me see if I can get a little more. Oh yeah,
man. But now, if I knew then what I knew now, and I had the ability to, the problem is a lot of people can't homeschool because if we honest, a lot of families live so above their means that both parents got to damn near work a job and a half apiece just to
right.
afford the lifestyle that they want to live. Not that they need to live, but
Mm-hmm.
that they want to live. So really, if you look at it, a lot of these kids are reading at a low level. A lot of these kids are YNs and bad as hell because in a lot of cases the parents aren't raising them. The school, the tablet, and everybody else is spending more time with them than the parents are. If both parents is working 10 to 12 hours a day, how much time do they have to dedicate to parenting their kids, teaching their kids, and actually raising them? And a
Right.
lot of times it's because the lifestyle that they want to live. One thing I noticed is my grandmama, she didn't wear Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada. She wasn't going on world trips and doing all this stuff that is going on today. They dedicated their lives, my mother and father dedicated their lives to their family and their children, whereas today, children are really like number three or four behind the job and the lifestyle.
That's true. And another issue is um, some of these parents are not educated to teach their kids. Some of these parents don't have an education. Some of them graduate from high school. Some of them drop out in the eighth grade. Some of them are like these videos we've been seeing that we're gonna get into in a minute. That they walking up to people that did graduate from high school and ask them to read a sentence on the little card, and they can't read. So how can you gonna teach your kids? So they go and with that, I would just present that we when I say we, I'm talking about all Americans need to make education a priority again, like it was back in the day. Reading books, reading need to become. You remember the dude though, reading Rainbow dude? You know what I'm saying? When we was a kid,
Butterfly in the sky.
yeah.
Hey,
They try to make reading fun to kids. One reason why we'll get into that.
I
Let's
can
work
fly
on.
twice as
But yeah,
high.
but some of these parents, yeah, they don't know how to teach a kid algebra. They don't know how to teach a kid hell, or operations. So that's a problem in talking about homeschooling. But give me one of y'all one or two good reasons why that's negative about public school to make you want to homeschool your kid?
Was negative about homes? Was negative about public school to make you want to homeschool?
Yeah.
Oh man, fights, shootings, uh, the teachers being inadequate, the food, um, man, the prison bus that they take you to school on. Man, don't get me started, man. You know what I'm saying?
Tim, I mean, I said, you got me thinking about Tim now talking like this. Hey, right. How, how you, how they gonna get to school, bro, if they don't ride the bus?
Man, get one of those buses that the city use to ride people through the city. They ain't gotta be on that big cheese. Cause think about it, they take
But
that school bus.
they
They
want to
take
make
that
sure
school bus.
everybody can see the bus, bro.
Man, look, paint it purple, yellow. I mean, purple, green, blue. Matter of fact, don't even paint it. Don't put me on that bus. Give me one of those MARTA buses, right? Um, and take me to school on that, or make me walk. But man,
Hey,
because think
bro,
about it,
ain't
they
nothing right.
decommissioned.
The bus, we can't even ride the bus, bro.
Man, they decommissioned the school bus and painted white and put uh Federal Bureau of Corrections or whatever it is on it. Man, come on, bro. Man, look, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, we ain't doing that. I ain't for public school. I
Right,
think they should take a bulldozer to every single one
right.
of them. Matter of fact, this is what I feel about public school. When y'all go by those big metal places with the scrap metal place, and they got this big old ball, they put it way in the sky, and then they just drop it and let it swing. That's what they need to do to the public schools, man. And
So
Right.
then what we going so then if we do that to public schools, what we
Mhm.
gonna do with all the badass kids that don't have nothing to do during the day?
Oh, we're gonna put rifles in their hand and drop them off in Afghanistan.
Oh, wait a minute. That's one of the topics I had on the list.
Yeah, since they so bad.
I don't know if we're gonna cover that today or maybe another day, but one of the topics was should all young men be required to do 2 years of military? But
Nah,
that's
they
another.
should.
That may be
Yeah,
another day. I don't know. We wait
yeah.
on that one. We
But
got stuff.
all the bad kids, man. Look, man, put them in what they call those boot camps, and until you rehabilitate fully
What's up,
to
Reggie?
go back in public, then you don't go. You don't get out until you rehabilitate fully. Make them get in programs and graduate from these programs, and show excellence has been created. If not, you just stay here. If you want to be bad for 20 years, you should be 20 years.
What's up?
Bring Reggie up.
Oh, okay.
Going on?
What's up, Bob?
Get off work.
Yeah, all right, cool. We're glad you can join, man. What you got on the topic?
I don't know what the topic is. But
All right. Well, the first topic is should should we homeschool kids? Is homeschooling your kid better, or is that the direction that more people should go right now?
uh, yeah, I'm probably lean towards. I used to lean towards yes, but now uh,
You coming you coming in and out.
okay. How about now?
Yeah, it's better.
So I would say for all the negatives that comes with public school, I think the positives outweigh it because I think as far as kids need to be around other kids and other kind of kids to understand what the world is like or what the world will be like when they get out to it. I think homeschool is a short-term answer, but I don't think it answers the long-term answers for kids. I think they kids need to be around, you know, quote unquote kids that maybe they didn't grow up around or things like that. I'm not saying they should go and you know you should put them in a situation to where maybe it's a poor school district or something like that. But overall, I think public school or even private school, you know, if you want to go that route. My kids are in private school, you know what I mean? I wouldn't think to put them in homeschool because I feel they need to be around other kids and have activities to do with them and make friends and things like that. So, I mean, that's ideally, I understand why people would say homeschool because of all the craziness that we see in schools these days. But you know how we all grew up, I think that's the best way to go. I have lifelong friends that I've had since we were younger. We come from different backgrounds. Some ended up being successful. others didn't be successful, but we still have those young boys school ties together. You know what I mean? So I think that's important.
And that's an interesting take on that. And you also interjected the private school. That's another dynamic as it relates to challenging the public school sector. When
That's a
you
good.
you're right. Anybody got a response to what Reggie said?
Yeah, I think you got a fair, take on it. I went to public school and private school, and homeschool, so I did all three. I preferred private school because I was able to gain more character development, being there wasn't that many students. Because in the public school, it's just a numbers game. It's like, hey man, if you listen, cool. If you don't, that's on you. But in a private school, it's a little bit more. Okay, I see you because it's only, you know, 20 people in this class, so you can't hide amongst, a class of 60 people. You know what I mean? But reason I say homeschool, right, is because you got more control over projections, right? Now, do kids need to be around other kids and stuff? Yeah, but I just feel like public school only creates workers. They don't create people to be free thinkers. That's why it's only possibly one out of every 10 graduating class to actually break free and be a free world thinker. You know what I mean? So, um, public school creates Batman, private school creates the Joker. I know that sounds crazy, right? But it'll hit y'all later by what I just said.
Yeah, I might have to sit on that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, man. I just, even when they talk about not being able to, mingle and meet other kids, you know, uh, I go out hiking and, I'm out here and there. And a lot of times what happens is a lot of the parents now that homeschool, they actually have groups where, they can, all the people that homeschool actually can meet at parks and different functions and mix and mingle. My sister actually homeschools all her kids, and they're part of a basketball league and all kind of stuff, and they homeschool, but they still get the interaction and able to mix and mingle with other kids. So homeschooling has came a long way.
okay, yeah, that's a good you know perspective on it. I just think like right now it's getting so bad with this indoctrination. Uh, like there's like if you're not with some of the stuff they're doing at these public schools, if you're not with like they're finding in elementary schools they're finding books talking about same sex activity in the libraries and stuff in these public schools in elementary school.
Yep.
And then they're bringing in some of these schools, they're bringing in people from the uh, the rainbow community and having them, talk to your kids about this kind of stuff. I've seen stuff where they're dressing your sons in dresses and stuff. They have these little school activities and they doing all this stuff with and did you know that in some of these school districts now they can help your kid transition without and they don't have to tell you. It's
Yep.
crazy. And so I've been
They
thinking about that kind of stuff when I think about homeschool.
they have talks and stuff like, have you ever had thoughts of being with same sex?
Yeah,
You know,
you talk
you
to a
know,
child here.
you know, back in the day, if a girl was a tomboy, that didn't automatically mean she was gay. But now, if your daughter is a tomboy, she's gonna eventually just be gay because the school is gonna indoctrinate her with those thoughts. So, well, since you like to do boy stuff, you might like to wear boy clothes. You may just actually be gay. Have you ever thought about that?
Or you may
And
be a boy in a girl's body.
yep,
And this is
you
what this
know,
is what they tell them. You may be a boy in a girl's body. Reggie
it's
having
like
trouble with his camera. Where you at, Reg?
Yeah, this one lady was saying her
There you go.
that's what happened to her daughter. She was like her daughter never even thought about she was like she always knew her daughter liked to do, play with boy toys and, like to play sports and stuff, football and stuff like that. But her daughter was always regular. And she said they had an assembly at school one day and they was talking about a lot of stuff. And she said she came home and said, "Mom, I might be gay." And that's all these kids' minds are so impressionable. When my two daughters was growing up, it was certain shows, and lucky, and this is what's very important, that us men, when we choose our wives or the women we have children with, that we're on the same page with a lot of stuff. But in my house, my kids wasn't allowed to watch no TV shows with none of that stuff on it. They couldn't watch them.
Man, it's a challenge for parents, bro. Cause like I said, all of y'all presented some, good pros and cons.
I mean,
So
it's bad. I mean, like I don't even allow my kids, man. Like I don't have it on the radio station, hip hop station, none of that, man. Like kids are 9 and 5 years old. Like they've never been exposed to hip rap music, none of that, man. I just, I'm against it, and I understand like public schools and being around public school kids is going to invite things that maybe but you don't teach at home, they're going to learn at school. So, like for instance, I don't know if you guys have been looking at the news, but it's been a bunch of kids singing verse for verse, line for line that Young Miami song. Have y'all know the song? I'm talking-
Hmm.
The
yeah, the
scam.
one about uh drop pay the money or something.
Yeah, talking
Yeah,
about.
where all my scamming ass niggas at?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Send that
yeah, yeah.
shit.
So it was one. I seen this one guy. I guess he's a TikTok creator. He came up with the dance for that song. He went to a skating rink performing to a bunch of elementary grade kids, hundreds of them in the background. So he's doing this dance with the song playing in the background, bunch of adults around, bunch of kids singing. They tried to play the clean version, but the kids knew the song
They
already. So
saying the real stuff.
the kids were still saying the words to the song, like the lyrics. Just if you didn't even like listen to the song, the music, and just read the lyrics, you would think this was the most evil song you have ever heard in your life. And these kids are repeating this. So my kids, having never been exposed to that, if they were going to a public school around public school kids, now they've undone what I've been trying to teach.
Working on, yeah.
Yeah, so it just that quickly, now it's gotten into their mind. Now they want to know more. Okay, daddy, dang, what's scamming mean? What
Yeah.
does this mean? What is
And
in that?
see,
What is that? Yeah, you know?
they gonna look at their daddy holding them back. They can't have fun like all the other kids.
Yes, they gonna feel like the outcast. So, you know, if you can, I know everybody's not able to do it, especially if you have multiple kids. But private school, that would be my priority. I don't care if I had to work 3 jobs in order to make sure they went to private school.
That make
I'm
a lot of sense.
the public school now is not the public. That is I'm 42. I'm 41 years old. Even now, the public school wasn't like it is now. Now it's totally different. See, then when I was in school, I mean, man, if you even attempted to say that you was a homosexual, oh man, you getting ridiculed. Like you getting picked
Yeah.
on,
Beat up.
you
All
getting
that.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So even if you weren't brave enough to come out and admit it. Now these kids, now this has become like a popular thing to do is because say you were transgender or something like that. Public
Fad.
now is a cesspool. So yeah, it, now that I'm talking about it again, I'm like, okay, let me revisit the homeschool thing. But
Especially since Cool Reviews gave the other angle that they can still have a social life with the programs the other school homeschool kids got, where
yeah,
they meet up and have activity together, so they can still learn how to have social life.
it's just
Man,
essential. You have to protect your kids from the other kids. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Man,
but 9 times out of 10, those parents are homeschooling for a reason. So those kids probably not going to be like the kids at the public school.
Right.
well,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, when my son was coming up, man, I kind of try to control as much as I possibly could. Like as far as his mom taking him. If she want to go out of town, oh my cousin gonna watch him. No, I got it. I come pick him up. You know what I mean? Or even down to the football teams he's playing on. Man, who the coaches? I found out one of the coaches, was a Decepticon. And I was like, hey man, nah man, he
Whoa.
playing for another team. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah, man.
I just don't remember. You know, I'll be 52 next month. So
Damn, you old, man.
wait a minute, hold on, what's going on here? But so now, but I don't remember having these issues in school, bro. I don't know if my mama just kept me in a decent neighborhood or what, but I know we wasn't in no like rich neighborhood. It just and we wasn't in the ghetto either. Not
It
like
was,
projects and nothing either. So, but um, we were lower class, but we wasn't in the projects.
but it
But
was
I don't
community then.
remember, huh?
We had more of a community back then. Now it's every man for
Yeah,
himself.
but I wasn't around them type. I think this social media and this rap got a lot to do with it because we didn't have that stuff going on in the classroom. We respect the teacher. The
Mm-hmm.
teacher had order of the class. Other kids wasn't turning us on to so bad of things. Worst thing we did was try to rub up on a girl. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
So, so let me ask y'all this, because
And
maybe
that
I
was the
grew
worst
up.
thing.
Maybe I grew up uh different than a lot of other black folks. But when I was growing up, my whole childhood, the majority of people had mothers and fathers in the house. Like the majority. And so when I grew up, I guess I don't know, but everybody knew everybody. The mother, the father. You can go over the next door neighbor house and you knew the mother and father both houses. You go to the candy lady, you knew her and her husband, the lady across the street. Like everybody had a family in their home. And I think, you know, when we really thought of the village back then, it was families helping families. Whereas now in the black community, if I'm gonna be honest, all I see is women and kids everywhere. And I don't see too many families no more. But some people are saying back in the 80s and 90s, it was a whole bunch of single mothers everywhere raising kids by themselves. I just really never saw it much growing up.
I think a lot
Um,
in social media, we have a lot more. I think the same rate again in the 80s and 90s. I think we just because we can open up Facebook,
yeah.
and so we see it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So it's just more. But I think it's always been there since the 80s and 90s. It just, you know, it wasn't none of that information was available to us. But I'll tell you this: it is an issue. It is an issue. A bunch of women and
Well,
kids. You know,
you can look it up, man. It started in the '60s, you know, but prior to the '60s, no, yeah, he's right. There was two-parent households prior to the '60s. You see what I'm saying? But it started to wither down in the '60s, and it went down from there, and it's been holding steady for about the last 20 plus years, 30 years. We've been looking at about 75 to 80% of single-parent households. But pre '60s, it was the opposite. It was 75 to 80, 75%. Both with both parents. So what happened?
Man, if I could, I gotta find this thing this guy sent me. It was the reason behind integrating and pushing education on the black community, and it's I wish I could find it to read it word for word because it's crazy as hell. And pretty much in short, it said that black people was before we was quote unquote educated, we was able to do everything on our own. We figured out ways to do stuff outside of the system. And they said so they had to figure out a way to control us. So what they pushed on us is to go to them and get their education because if you went to them to get their education, now they can control your best, your brightest, your greatest people. They can control them and then take their what they were able to do, put them in the white people's system and benefit from it. And I wish I could find it, but in short, it was pretty much to take our greatest and the way that we thought. Because remember when white people was going through a depression, we were straight.
Hey,
But
I think
but I wish
everything
I
you
could
just
find it.
said, I think
Yeah.
everything you just said is about the hogwash.
Okay.
I think that's all hogwash.
I don't, because
You
it makes
know,
sense.
no, don't. Uh, why we've always they've always benefited from our best and our brightest. That ain't changed. So why would they need to educate us and integrate us? We the ones wanted to be integrated because we thought that we were getting shortchanged, getting hand-me-down books and and different things like that, drinking from the cheaper water fountain, different things. We the one asked to be integrated. They didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't need that because we were doing fine. I think the integration thing, the whole civil rights movement was really one of the worst things that happened to us.
Right.
Because, like
But
you
that's
said,
what I'm
we were doing
saying.
fine, but it's not something they wanted. That's not something that really benefited them.
It benefited them because what happened is what our greatest you gotta think about a lot of the greatest inventions and a lot of greatest things that even people use today was invented by black people. The only thing is they wanted to make sure they had full control over the inventors. So instead of us being this, on our own, pretty much inventing stuff, they controlled it and they capitalized off of all of it. You know,
Reggie, I mean, not Reggie. Cool reviews. They did that anyway, bro. They've been doing that since the 18th, 19th century. No, when you had Thomas Edison and all these different the inventors, they always had a black assistant or something that was really responsible for a lot of the discoveries. So I mean, they was already doing all that. They've always had access to our genius.
So what do y'all think about like the? Because I hear both sides of it when people say, "Oh, integration was the worst thing to happen," and I can understand the argument. But okay, so during the civil rights movement, black people initiated it for the integration to happen, right? They kind of what forced it upon white people, and a lot of white people didn't want it at the time. So I'm kind of thinking like, okay, if they didn't do that, and if integration is important, I think integration everybody needs to work together. I think that is important, but I don't think when you force it upon people, I think it has a negative impact over time. I think if you it would have happened more naturally, right? I think it would have been better for everybody. So I think
Right.
the black people would have continued to thrive under their own doing their own thing, and eventually both white and black people can see like, okay, well, I like how they doing things over there, like it would have happened eventually. I don't think had the civil rights not been forced, I think integration would have happened more inclusively, more naturally, more smoothly. It would have happened, more over a longer period of time. But I think that's probably would have been the best route to do it. And I mean, it's easy to say, that's hindsight, but I think, a lot of
I
that
agree
was,
with you.
you know what I mean? So
I
yeah, I
agree with you.
think it really hurt black people
I
by forcing the issue.
Yeah, I agree with
I
you.
think integration was pushed on us.
Nah,
Two, I think honestly, if we really just look at it, because you look at every other minority group, how are we the only group that pushed for integration when we was actually done the worst? You got the Hispanics, you got the Asians, you got all the other minority groups, the Indians, Muslims, and all them. They ain't fighting for integrations. Integration. They come to the United States, and for the most part, separate. They get their own little communities. They make their money, they own, run, and control. They money bounce in their community 15, 20 times and never leave. You
Th-
telling me we didn't have that mindset coming out of slavery?
we did coming out of slavery. We did. And that's exactly what we did. But um, you know,
It's
well,
hard.
you right. You know what? You right in one way because the whole once you studied more, look like LT agreed with you on there. He says
Yeah.
integration was a chess move for the white people. But when we coming out of what was I finna say?
Coming out of slavery.
So yeah, we did the same thing they did with coming out of slavery. But you know the civil rights movement. Once you do more research on it, you'll find out that it was all that stuff was a hoax. It was all like you said. It has an agenda. Now
Yeah.
you on the agenda, like you said, there could have been some white people behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Because who was funding it? Who
But they
was
wasn't.
funding?
You're right.
It was a political move also.
Right. So so what I was saying that they didn't it ain't something they forced on us. We asked for it. However, we was probably misled by our leaders, and it could have been some white people pulling the strings behind Martin Luther King and all of them. Cause like the whole Rosa Parks thing, you know that was staged. And she just wasn't tired that day and didn't want to get out the seat. You know what I'm saying? That was all part of the political movement that they had put together for the civil rights agenda.
But why did they pick Rosa Parks?
Light skin.
Because how did they didn't have camera phones back then, so how did they know to get the right angle and take that picture of her on the back of the bus?
I ain't thought about that.
It was staged. It was a
Yeah,
dark skinned sister that didn't fit the description of what they wanted to push that actually did it first. Then
yeah.
they came back with Rosa Parks and say, we're gonna stage this. But I love to listen to Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson said, due to the Montgomery bus boycott and integrated the buses, it took the majority of black bus businesses out of business.
Yeah, that's right.
LT, you want to come up?
Yeah, because
LT doing a lot of
LT,
talking. He might need to come up.
because they knew that white and black would come together and make babies, then otherwise, the melanin would disappear. Okay. Uh, it just, just like how I believe the civil rights movement in a lot of cases was some bullshit. They ran the same play on women too. The feminist movement, making them believe that if they stay in the home and raise kids and didn't work just as much as men, they ran the same play on them too.
Yeah, both of those went hand in hand, civil rights and feminism. Agreed.
Yeah. They it's crazy. They just remix it a little bit. They don't stray too much from it. They just remix it a little bit. And it's we fell for it. And some would say they saw how well we maneuvered through the Great Depression. We didn't have a depression like they did. We knew how to survive. We knew how to work together. So while they was failing, we was good. And they said, "Hey, nah, we got to break this up."
Hey, LT, use that link uh, I just sent you to come up. But yeah, I see what you're saying on that angle there. But that's another topic though, maybe to find out how we get to where we at. When we was doing fine out of slavery, you know, and started building our own cities, because we couldn't get loans from nobody. We couldn't get loans from banks. So we used to save our money and pay cash for stuff. Then we had our own banks,
Mm-hmm.
we had our own stores, and all this stuff. How we get from that to
Some
having nothing right now?
the mind. It's all it's the mindset. The mindset of the mindset of black people back then was totally different from the mind.
Right, but what changed though, Reggie? And when did it change? What and when? Because I remember in the 80s, I remember when I grew up in the 80s, um, I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? We had, I can think of one, two, shit, every candy store. I, at my neighborhood, I always had like candy stores. We call them candy stores because that's what we went for. But another name for it was convenience stores. So back then, it would have been your local like convenience store. You got that like the Asian and Arab guys own it in the like in the hood
Mm-hmm.
where they go get everything. They juice, cigarettes, black and mild, candy, bread.
Yeah.
Ours was always owned by a black person.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I seen when I went in there. Everyone. I was owned by a black person. The neighborhood, all the neighborhoods I lived in, they were black owned. Now we had bigger stores, uh, that wasn't black owned, but all those little, we could just call them corner stores. All those little corner stores or variety stores, like we just call them, they all was black owned, you know, and that's what I remember. But now you don't see that. You see a completely different face when you go in there.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to figure out how do we get from that to this?
that's a good question. I mean, I don't know when that mindset changed from the black. What is it called? The black man pulling himself up by his own bootstraps, right? That's frowned upon now. If you say that, but I think at that point in time, pre-civil rights,
Cool.
I think pre-civil rights, the black man didn't have a crutch. Black people didn't have a crutch to stand on. It was either do or don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there was no help. So when you leave a man to himself and he doesn't have anything else to lean on, he starts to use his brain a lot more. He starts to be innovative. He starts to do. But now we have, in this day and age, we have a lot of ways to make excuses for ourselves in order to not do nothing. We got people to blame now. We got people who will listen to us and believe us if we got people to blame if we fail. So
Right.
that wasn't available. So
What's up, LT?
What's up? What's up? We got somebody new in the building. LT, what's good?
that and
Can't hear you, LT.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I
I can
can
hear
hear
you
you.
now. Yeah, we can hear you
Oh
now.
yeah, yeah. What I was saying before, what I was talking about the melanin, all this stuff to me was a chess game. Like you saying about the Martin Luther King, all that stuff was set up. And what I'm going deeper is because when they integrated us, they already knew that the white and blacks would come together and they would make babies. Once they make babies, you have a light skinned kid. He goes out and he talks to another white girl and he have a baby just like my grandkids. My kids went out and got white girls. They kids now are light skinned. They talk to white girls, and before you know it, we're gonna be gone. You think about it. Look at the quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. After a while, we're not gonna be around anymore. You're not gonna start seeing. You're not gonna see any dark skinned people out here anymore. It's
so
a
you
it's a it's a it's a deeper game. You know what I'm saying? It's a deeper game, and I learned that from a white guy.
so
What
A
you
you
what
white
you
guy
got to
told me
say?
that. A white guy told me that. A white guy told me, he said, man, before you know it, 5 or 6 generations, you not even gonna tell that. He said, your last name Tatum, you're gonna start seeing white Tatums running around here, basically. He said, because the kids are gonna be, they're not gonna talk to black women, they're gonna talk to white women or other women. Before you know it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna be around anymore. And then at the time it didn't set in. Then I started thinking about it. I said, man, damn, I didn't think about it. Now I'm looking at my grandkids. They going out here and they have white ladies that they're messing with, and their kids coming out now. They look white. We're no melanin at all. They have the features, but everything else is gone. They don't have any melanin like me. My grandkids or whatever, they light skinned. They're like, mm, it's crazy.
Hmm.
I think I think I think that's an interesting thought, but I would go deeper than that. Like, if so, are you saying kind of like it's like the a plot to get rid of black people altogether?
Yes, yes, that's exactly what it is, man. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay,
A
well,
old white guy told me that at the cigar shop. He was telling me that we were sitting there talking or whatever. I said, and I never thought about it like that at first or whatever, you know. So I was like, damn.
I
Well,
would
And
see,
say
then
I
when I
heard it
started
the other
looking at
way.
my own family, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm the only darkest person in the house.
I would say this to that, and I'm not saying that's not true. That's not.
Yeah, yeah, but like I say, you know,
I think more so the threat to black people is basically ourselves. You know what I mean? I don't think it. I mean, yeah, that's a part of it, but if you look deeper into it, like, what are we doing to ourselves? You know what I'm saying? We eliminate ourselves at a clip higher than anybody else. You know, so we're
yeah,
already only 13, 14% of the population. So we're drastically behind the Hispanics, who are now this majority minority. Is because we're not advocating family enough with one another and protecting each other from each other, essentially. Now, I know in every community there's in community violence, right? We understand that white people kill white people, Hispanics kill Hispanics, blacks kill blacks. But the number one cause of death for a young black man between the ages of 15 and 40 is homicide. The number one cause of death for a white person, a white male, same age range, is things like preventable deaths, like
Accidental death
car accidents and drug overdoses, things of that nature. But you have to get
and
the number,
stupid stuff like jackass be doing.
yeah, things like that. You have to get their homicide rate. You have to go down to number four before they reach where we are. Ours is number one by far. It's like five times the difference between a black man getting killed rather than dying in a car accident or something. So that's an issue. And 97% of that time, it's in house, which means of the four of us, likelihood all four of us would be killed by another member of our own community. So that's a big problem. That's a really big problem between us. So we have to solve that issue. And it goes back to, where did all of this go wrong? Because it wasn't like this. This kind of violence amongst each other wasn't like this pre civil rights. So what took place to where now we see each other as our own enemy and afraid of our own communities amongst each other? That's
But
the
that's
see,
just a that's
but
just a
see,
piece
I'm
of the
a
pie. It's a piece of the pie because they're not killing us. They're not getting us in one way. All this is a big piece of the pie. So they looking at it like, okay, we got jails over here. We got all this with the other ladies or whatever. You got pieces of the pie or whatever. So they getting us in every facet of everything that's going on around or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they got the violence. You know what I'm saying? We killing off each other. They ain't really got to do it.
no, they
They
don't.
ain't got to do it.
but
We
I
doing
wanna
it to ourselves.
I wanna read something to y'all. Cause y'all missing the number one killer of the black community. Black women account for the largest share of total abortions,
Mm,
roughly 39 to 43%. Despite making up only about 13% of the U.S. female population, they have the highest abortion rate at roughly 24 to 28 abortions per 1,000 women ages 15 to 44. White
Wow.
women account for about 27% to 30%, 36% of abortions, while making up nearly 60% of the population. They have the lowest rate at around 6 abortions per 1,000 women. Hispanic women account for 21% of abortions, which is generally uh, pro- pro- proper, proportional to their share of the U.S. population. Their abortion rate sits between the rates of whites and black women. So when we look at the number one killer of black people is black women. They lead in murder. So you say the most unsafe place for a black person? It's in a black woman's womb,
But
Wow.
watch
and they
out now.
fight for it.
You gonna get your show. You gonna get your show shut down.
Yeah.
They fight to make sure that they kill our futures.
Not only
You
Hey,
that,
know,
look at
look, I
look
don't
They
at
don't
mind
want
being
us
the
to have it.
bad guy. I don't mind being the bad guy. This is the problem.
and think about this. What group of women, what group, I wouldn't even say women, what group votes 93% towards the party that advocates for this? What group?
The black community.
No. Nine-
But
Oh,
well, no, he right there too
the
though.
Jasmine Crockett's. I mean, my bad.
93% vote for this party. And then try to
Yeah,
shame you if you go elsewhere. And
Yeah.
it isn't about political, but goes back to the abortion argument. Who's pushing for this stuff? Who was
Huh.
abortion set up for in the first place? To keep
They
the
said that Margaret Sanger lady, she said it. They said she said out her own mouth, and she's the one that started Planned Parenthood.
and
Mm.
as true as it was then, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, however long it was, it still rings true today. They still lead that statistical category. And to me, I don't know how that changes because the mindset does not change. The mindset
Look
is,
at Miss Curl said she's on the older ladies. She said social programs, welfare, etc., became husbands. She said my generation failed you all.
it started then. And
Yeah, I can see that.
this is the effect of it, of that cause.
they they tricked black women out of their spots. You know, I think a lot of times what I believe honestly, black women looked at white women. You know, you saw the soap operas and stuff like that, and they looked at black
Hmm.
women and envied them. But I think
And
in
my
a
mom
lot
just
of
watch this
ways,
stuff every day.
maybe white women envy black women. I think black women was actually more free and actually had better quality of lives than the white folks. If
But
we're
you
going,
know what?
if you really look at it,
It's really both. You right on. It's both. People
they
always
were
envy
jealous of each other.
what they ain't. Yeah,
Hmm.
white women going to the beauty shop to get a perm. They want a permanent wave. They want their hair curly.
And then they
They
going to
want
get
to wear a Jerry
tan.
curl.
They tanning and
They
everything.
tan in and get their skin darker. And then black women going to the beauty shop to get a relaxer. They want their hair straightened out.
Get both.
Uh,
Yeah,
And they putting on bleaching cream.
and
They
getting,
want their skin lighter. So it go both ways.
yeah, true.
but
Mm.
anything to stop us from becoming better, because you know what I'm saying, now you got all these different agendas with the LGBTQ whatever. Now you start seeing more black people, more black men now coming out now. You know
Now,
what I'm saying? Like that's what I was saying before. It's different pieces of the pie where they killing us at. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of men out here now. They don't even want to make no babies no more.
But LT, you got to watch when who is they?
Hmm.
Who is they? You keep saying they.
The people that's
You
out here
said where
that's
they
orchestrating.
killing us at. Who is they?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The people, the people that's pulling all the strings out here, this got all this stuff playing, because really all this stuff is set up. You know what I'm saying? They already got, they already went around the corner, they already went down the street already. They already got us already or whatever, because we already in this system already. We already in this cycle already. It's already there already. I ain't trying to
Hey,
have nobody come to my shop and close my shop down.
you crazy.
Hey,
No,
we
Look,
only get
sir.
about
look,
100 views, man. So you good, man. Ain't nobody gonna really
Yeah,
see
but
this
like I
shit.
look.
said, but at the same time though, you know what I'm saying?
Wait
It's
a
just the
minute.
right people need to see it. You know what I'm saying? Only
Wait a
one
minute.
person can see it.
No. I'm not trying to get you to really just say
I
no
know you ain't.
specific. My point I'm gonna address with you is they sure be busy, don't they?
Oh yeah, shit, man. They
I mean,
already
based on what you just described, they busy as hell.
yeah. The
But you
people,
know
you know
what?
what I'm saying?
But you know what
The
I
masses of
believe?
the people,
You know what I believe though? I don't think they spend a lot of time on it.
they don't
You know,
have
'cause they
to.
don't have to. It's
It's
on
already set up.
autopilot.
It's already set. It's
It's
already
on
set.
autopilot.
It's just like the Willie Lynch thing.
Now,
It's already set.
but who do we blame for that though?
Go that way. Go back.
In 2026, who do we blame for that?
She really though, you know what I'm saying? I don't
Us.
really know who you can blame besides ourselves for whatever because we the one that keep falling for it. It's insanity. We keep
That's what
falling
I'm
for the
getting
same
to.
stuff. If you
That's what
really
I'm
want
getting
to
to.
invoke, if you really though, like I tell people before, everybody talking about if they get out here and get the boycott, I said, man, I'm not boycotting. I'm not walking with nobody. I'm not doing nothing unless I got a.
Yeah.
He went out. Where he go?
Oh yeah.
I'm with him. There you
You
go.
went out,
Unless we
LT.
have a,
Yeah, now what I was
yeah,
saying
go
is
ahead.
I'm not walking with nobody. I'm not doing no boycotts unless I got 100% participation. You know what I'm saying? If you only got 80% of the people out here doing something, you can't invoke change. If you got 100% of the people say we're not doing that, we're not buying nothing, we're not going like they did back in the
Huh?
days when we did with the buses or whatever. We're not doing nothing. When you stop commerce from moving, that's when change comes. If you don't, because they know already that, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Well shit, these dudes got to go back to work today. You go down there more for 2 hours, then you got to go back to work. You're not gonna change nothing.
Yeah, I
You know what
agree
I'm saying?
with you. I agree with you, but you skipped over something.
Who did it?
Before you can get to even talking about a boycott, you gotta have probable cause. You see what I'm saying? We don't be having probable cause. You know, it'd be a whole farce. You know, it'd be a misguided agenda for a baseless purpose. You see what I'm saying? Like when they were talking about boycotting Target after Target dropped their DI program, right? First of all, Target was one of the main stores that was doing business with black lines. You can go to Target and see a black product on the shelf, and then the same people that had a problem with them drop the DEI, they're the same people argue with you and tell you that white people and LGBT and everybody else benefited from DEI more than black people did.
White women.
So we like number 20 on the list that benefited from DEI, uh, 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 ratio wise, who benefited the most. So why are we crying about them getting rid of DEI? We obviously wasn't benefited to the degree that we thought it was designed for. So we really didn't have no reason to be complaining about that, you know. And then we complaining we gonna boycott a store that was doing business with, that was rocking with us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But
They talking
again
about
though,
they talking about boycotting. What's his name? The rapper that got a
Jay
deal with
Z.
Target. Jay Z.
Yeah.
Jay Z ain't the first person. Uh, hell, I bought Kai Cenat stuff. What's his name? The Kai Cenat products. He got shampoo and body wash in there. I bought his stuff out of Target. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing business with black businesses, and we just gonna overlook that, and because we ignorant to the fact that that the DI programs have organically became obsolete.
You know,
The,
one
the
one
purpose
thing,
of the DI program has organically fixed itself, and it
and
being in place have done nothing but benefit other people. It's just like everything else that rolled in on us. With the Supreme Court ruling they just had yesterday with the birthright citizenship. You got all these illegal immigrants coming over here, dropping their babies as soon as they cross the line, and then they can run back to their country and back and forth. Now this baby got dual citizenship. That's 14th Amendment. That birthright citizenship was designed for the children of slaves. You see
but
what I'm saying?
but
And
see
the Supreme Court dropped the ball on that one today.
but see the thing is
Yesterday, they dropped the ball on that.
what he said a while back is at one point we had black owned corner stores and convenience stores and cleaners and stuff in the black community, but now those corner stores and convenience stores are ran by them immigrants. And the crazy part is, I don't understand how us as black Americans still vote for immigration. We literally vote. A lot of stuff we vote for as black people, we're voting for our own demise. We're voting for our own replacement. We keep
I
doing
agree.
it.
I'm gonna
I
tell
agree.
you why. Because black people don't vote based upon what's good, what's in their best interest. They're voting against the boogeyman. So they're not
Right.
voting. They're not voting for what black people don't vote for what can help. They only vote against what they think is harmful to them, but it's really not. So it doesn't make any sense because let me tell you something. The politicians, they've been doing this a long time. They know what makes certain people tick. If you throw out the R word to a bunch of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen is black people internally are going to get enraged. They're going to feel hatred towards these people because the one thing that we hate more than anything is people who we believe are racist. And
Right.
it's very hard to get a black person to stop and think for a minute and be like,
It clouds their judgment.
it clouds the judgment. I'm telling you, I'm just being honest here.
Stir up emotions. Stir up emotions.
If people just
Clouds their
for
judgment.
themselves,
They lose the
exactly.
ability to reason and
Listen,
rationalize.
when emotion is high, logic is low. And I'm sorry, man. A lot of people, black people, go through this, and this is why we continue this cycle of nonsense. We don't
And I'm
believe.
sorry, Miss Curl. Don't mean to cut you off, Rich. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we don't believe in half the stuff that the Democratic Party offers. Black people historically have never believed in homosexuality being a good thing or acceptable. Certainly not transgenderism or anything that comes with that Pandora's box that you open with homosexuality. We don't believe in illegal immigration like that. We believe black people want safety. We believe in all of these things. Black people historically, from our grandparents and everything, are conservative people. But somehow that word conservative has turned into racism. And this has all been done easily by the Demo. They've done it easily. Once made you stop thinking by just calling people racist, and all of a sudden everybody's racist now. If you even say anything against what's that? If a white person say anything about Barack Obama, oh, he got to be racist. Racist. So this is what I'm saying. Like until we can start thinking like clearly and looking at facts for what they are, and just stop being so emotionally grounded in a lot of it is just lies. Nothing will
Right.
change.
A
Nothing
lot
will
of it's
change.
lies. And I will say this, Miss Curl. I see you talking about Jasmine Crockett. She says Jasmine Crockett lost by 70,000 votes. South Dallas has 90,000 registered voters. Only 2,000 voted. She should have lost, Miss Curl. You know, we got candidates. We got to stop putting candidates, following candidates like Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett did nothing for the black community, but get on that TV and talk bad about the governor of Texas and about Trump. All she did was race grift. Race grifting can always get you supported by black people. You
So
see
I
what I'm
got a
saying?
question about Jasmine Crockett.
Jesse Jackson won him.
For what I'm hearing about Jasmine Crockett, the dialect that she was using, the way she was talking, the way she act,
Bingo.
that's not her for real. That was all a act.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Is
race
that true?
grifting.
So that was all. She not ghetto. She not all of that. That was a role that she was playing to get black people to vote for her.
To vote. Mm-hmm.
Think about and just think for a second, just with what you just said.
Thank
Think
you, Miss Curl.
this is what she thinks of black people. She has to kowtow down to the lowest common denominator of black people, dumb herself down in order to gain respect from black people. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like that right there is enough for me not to even take you serious.
But
because
it's
Yeah.
the same. It's the
if
same
you
thing that what's her name did with pulling the hot sauce out of her purse.
Was that
they
Hillary
You
all
Clinton?
know,
do it, right? They all
and what's her
and
name? The one that ran for president last.
Clinton.
What's the one that's ran for president just now?
Kamala.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala. What she
No,
do?
she don't want to talk about she
She
put greens in her tub.
greens in a
What?
tub. She gonna offer marijuana, try to legalize marijuana for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's
Said
just,
that her,
bro.
said that her
We
favorite.
should be offended by these people. Actually,
She
They
said that
set
her
us back, man. They set us back.
she said that her
okay,
favorite
Miss Curl, I see it.
she said that her favorite rapper in college was Tupac, even though she went to college before Tupac was even out. Come on, man! Like this is crazy. Come on, what are we doing?
Wow.
And then you got what was that? We used to call Bill Clinton the first black president because he had an affair on his wife and could play the saxophone and smoke weed. This is what we think of black people. We lower ourselves down to just stereotypes.
Now you
And
know what? Now hold on. You know what? She's actually Tupac's actually dead when she went to college.
no, she went to college.
So
Uh,
she's only in her early 40s.
no, Kamala. No, Kamala's.
Oh, you said Kamala.
Yeah,
I
Kamala.
thought you were talking
Yeah.
about Jasmine.
Oh no, Kamala. Yeah, she talking about
Yeah.
two
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
college and smoke weed
Oh
just
yeah.
wasn't even out yet.
Right.
But you
Didn't
know what?
Hillary
These talk
Clinton?
shows don't do no don't do us no justice anyway. When you have these housewives and stuff like that, these black folks get on there acting crazy. That's how people see us.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't value ourselves enough to be taken serious in this world. That's why we are on the lowest scale of even Hispanics in this country. You know how hard that is? And we've been here from the beginning. There's no reason for it.
Bro, listen, check this out. I looked up a stat. In 1970, Hispanics made up 4.5% of the United States population, right? We made up 11.9. We as in, African Americans, descendants of black slaves and stuff. So we made up 11.9 compared to their 4.5, right?
Yep.
Right now, today, they're 19% and we're 13%.
We
Make
don't
that make sense.
can't move. We don't move from ours.
Make that make sense.
And
Hmm.
from the things that we talked about.
Yep.
Murder,
Abortion, prison. If
prison.
you locked up, you can't make babies.
And then when you then half of them is just like you say they batting for the other team.
Homosexual, all of this stuff, man. I'm saying
Yeah.
like a lot of this stuff comes down to policy,
Holy shit!
you know,
For
mindset.
all of y'all that coming in late, can y'all hit the like button, please? And this whole conversation started out when we were talking about public schools, the condition of public schools, and is homeschooling or private school a good option? This is how it got started, but it was kind of hard to talk about that without leaning over to talking about black folks, and
So
But check this
how do
out.
y'all
Check this
feel
out.
about that? I don't think I heard that when y'all was talking about that homeschool versus public schools.
But one thing, because he was talking about Hispanics. I want to read y'all something.
Okay then.
Gross annual household income in the United States varies significantly by race, according to the U.S. Census Bureau data. Asian households report the highest median income at approximately 116,000, followed by non-Hispanic white households at 81,000, Hispanic households at 62,000, and black households at 55,000. So you telling me that the Hispanics household and income is higher than ours? Immigrants, people that come over here from other countries,
Yes.
they household is at 62, almost 63,000, where ours is at barely 55,000.
you know
Make
what?
that make
I
sense?
want to I want to I want to say this, man. While we got about 10 people on this live, and y'all hit the like button, man. We got 10 people watching. We only got 5 likes. Can y'all hit the like button, please? It don't cost you nothing. But I want to say this, man. We need to be more solution based and stop blaming white people or any other race for our condition.
Hey,
The
Zero, you know the
problem is the
link?
problem is with our subculture. We got to change the way we think and
We
change the
think,
way we
yep.
move. I'm sick of these black people blaming another man. You know, you're a weak man. It takes a weak man, you know what I'm saying, to blame another man for all their problems.
But
That's
that's how
weak.
they being raised, though, man. Like I say, it's hard to change that a lot of times. You know, it's gonna take somebody with a good set of balls or whatever to stand up and step out and do these things, because you fall right back into the same rut. You know, you can pull yourself out, but if you don't have that foundation or nobody there to help you, like y'all talking about it right now, you know what I'm saying? You have to keep talking about it and keep putting it on their mind, because if not, once they leave here and go other place, they're gonna fall right back in that rut again. And it's gonna be the same thing. The ones that's doing it gonna continue to do it, but the ones that you're trying to pull out, they're gonna be like, man, they gonna fall right back in it.
It's got to be a way of life, bro.
That's what I said earlier. Mindset. Until the mindset changes of people, the same mindset that black people had pre-civil
Can't
rights.
no more.
So this is possible, but
Yeah.
you have to have a collective of people that's willing to do the work. And like Jason said, the blame game, that's a what does that do?
Cop
Blame
out.
somebody else for
It's
your trouble, man.
it's a cop out. It's
That's
a
the
cop out.
epitome, that is the epitome of weakness. I agree. You know, and a lot of times, of course, we talking about black people because we live the black experience, right? So I don't know what a white man feels. I don't know what he's been through. I'm a black man speaking from a black existence, and a lot of times I see a lot of black men just not taking accountability. Just stand up and just take care of your responsibilities. Accept whatever reason you have in the past for failure. Accept it and learn from it. Move on and continue with the success, man. I mean, it's really that simple. Strong
Okay,
mind.
so y'all, let's move on to our other topic. It was about uh, the moral decline of America. Are we having a moral decline of America? Let's go back to
Man, I don't know. That's
1920, the 20th century, 1920, 1926. Let's go back 100 years ago. So let's look at our morals from 1926 as a country, not just blacks. The America. Do you think America has been on a moral decline over the past 100 years, from 100 years ago?
uh, obviously none of us were there in 1920, but I will say this: every generation has its problem, right? 1920, I'm assuming things were not so great for black people in 1920. I'm assuming the white people of
Hold
that day.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We're not gonna say we'll probably go over the black people some kind of way, but they just say in America in general. And what I
America
mean by that is, if you go back and look at pictures from 1920, 1930s, 1940s, right? You will see how the men dress. You'll see how the women dress. How did the women dress?
modest.
Modestly, right? There was a moral standard, right? When you cut on our TV, what you remember? I love Lucy and all them. What's her husband name? Look how they had two beds in the same room. They didn't show them sleeping in the same bed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was different. Everything was sensitive. You have to have. It's the stuff we can see on regular TV now. Hell, look, you seen some of these cartoons they got now? This is stuff you would have never saw uh, uh, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, 80 years ago.
A bathing a regular bathing suit today was
What was
considered like
that?
pornographic back in those days.
Huh? Yeah.
Regular
What's going
swimsuit,
on?
bikini that we see on Instagram every day, that was considered like pornography.
What was that? White low?
Yeah, this is Sean. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
We talking about moral decline. That's
Yeah.
that's 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 the big daddy, the government. When you start taking out corporal punishment in the schools, number one, and parents, I'm not. When I was a kid, when I was growing up back in the 70s, coming right out of Jim Crow era, the accountability was based on the parents and the kids. You got too many adults trying to be in kids' business for number one, and trying to be, instead of being parents, they trying to be friends with their children. That's the second thing. You know, you get kids to get in fights in school, and the first thing the parent, they up at the school. What for? Let kids handle that. Let kids handle that. You got kids, and like Jason said, I 100% agree with Jason about the way these kids dress. You know, when I was a kid, you couldn't get in grandmama's car and turn her radio. Grandma's gonna turn on
Oh.
that AM station and she gonna listen to church music 100%
Yep.
of the time when
Yep.
you got in her car. Now kids are telling grown-ups what they can and what they can't do. You got kids in grown-up conversation. When we was kids, you get out of here. And you bet not, you don't get to speak on no grown-up conversation. You let
Hey,
you let
you
they
made me think
letting
about it, man.
they
My
letting
mama
kids
used to say,
they letting kids talk about other grown-ups. When we was kids, I don't care if Ed was the biggest wino on the corner. You bet not open your
yeah,
mouth up saying nothing about Ed the
right,
wino hanging out on the corner. You got smacked in the mouth.
yeah.
You
Hey,
know,
Sean, you made me think about my mama used to say,
go ahead,
if
go ahead.
her and her friends talking, and then she'll look up and see me looking at and listen to that conversation. She say, "Get out of my mouth."
Get out your
Matter
mouth.
of fact, get
That,
up
that,
out of here.
you got kids so bold now being
Y'all
grown
go
up,
downstairs.
be sitting there listening to grown ups and then be able to comment it in grown up conversation. That never happened when we was kids.
Right.
Never. And you cuss at a kid now, that's abuse. I can tell you my mama told me all the stuff she said, and this goes for every one of my friends growing up in the 70s and early 80s. We got called so many names, you dummy, stupid, or whatever. And nowadays you say that you abusing a child.
Yeah.
That's child abuse. I think, and the government. It's like if you go to a school now, you got to get permission to get your kid out of school. Well, why are you up here to get the junior? Or if I mean, a lot of it's government and the parents, white and black, got to take back ownership of being parents.
Right. I agree.
Hey, yo, what up, y'all?
What's up, Zero?
What's up, Zero?
Chilling. Man, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? Trying to, I was just on my way home listening, and then I heard, you know what, you got the link. I'm like, okay, let's go. But to your point, though, about kids in school, that was back when you could trust teachers. You can't trust these motherfuckers now. You know what I'm saying? Like, every week you hear about a new teacher catching a case for messing with kids. And honestly, and this is just a personal opinion, honestly, we ain't protecting our kids well enough. Because I tell you what, somebody mess with my daughter, one of these teachers mess with my daughter, ain't gonna be no fucking trial. Believe that shit. Well, there'll be one if they can catch me alive.
Zero. I hear you, but let me ask you this: when we was growing up, the number one predator to a child that was in your family was from somebody in the family, whether it be that
Yup,
uncle,
and that
whether it
motherfucker
be
catch a
that
bullet too.
where it be that cousin, where it be that brother, where it be that granddaddy. But we'll give them a pass and defend him or her. And so that the biggest violator to a kid's trust and the kid's innocence was right there in the same house they were in.
Absolutely. And I ain't got no days for that. Like, yo, family or not, you can catch a bullet over my daughter. Believe that.
Okay, but Zero, I'm not saying this is you, but that perspective reigns right now on a lot of parents, as if to for them to go up there and check the teacher every time the teacher say something to these kids. And I
You
think that's
right?
one of the I think that's one of the big problems now, because the teachers can't even say nothing to the kids no more without the parents running up there trying to check the teachers.
Right. And you're right, bro. Like I'm saying. And I literally said this, I think 2 weeks ago, when it was me, Cool, and Joe Collins on here. Our kids ain't perfect, and we need to stop acting like it. Cause it's to the point now where white people got a new slur for us. Dindu.
I
Cause
agree
we
with you on that, Zero. They ain't
we
perfect, and you
always
need to quit protecting them. I agree.
yeah, but we always up in somebody's face talking about our kids didn't do nothing, knowing they guilty as fuck, knowing that little motherfucker wrong. You know what I'm saying? And it's to the point now where white people got a new slur because we defend bullshit too much when it comes to our goddamn kids. You see what I'm saying? So it's a two-way street. Don't get me wrong. I'm not I'm not uh I'm not on either side because you kind of wrong either way. But my point is these new teachers ain't shit either. Like what was that teacher bay chick with the tight pants and the big ass? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like back in the day, there were more black teachers than there are now when I was growing up, and some of them had fat asses. You know what they wore? Dresses, loose ass dresses.
It's so.
So I'm not saying either side is necessarily right because both sides need correcting. But yeah, black parents are failing our fucking kids right now in a lot of ways. One, not holding them accountable. Two, not defending them when the time is right. Because I'll tell you what, uh, uh, Rick Chow wouldn't have been no trial fucking with my kid. I'd have turned that bitch into Beirut. The fuck you talking about? But we always forgive it. We always forgiving some shit, and they'll be judged later. Bitch, I'm judging you now, me and my Beretta.
So you brought up the Rick Child thing, right? So there's another side of it too, because would would you say that your son at 14 years old would have been in Rick Child's store with a loaded handgun?
I'd have been in Rick Child's store at 16 with a loaded handgun because that's when I was involved in. That's when I witnessed firsthand my first shooting. I was Glocktavius after that. Like everybody wants to say, oh, why did he have a gun? He had a gun and didn't make it home. He had a gun because this motherfucker's like Rick Chow out here.
Do you think he had the gun for Rick Child, or do you think he had the gun
He
for?
had he had the gun for niggas, but he should have shot Rick Chow. Fuck it, let's be real.
Okay.
See, I'm Glocktavius, bro. When I say I ran the streets, I was in them bitches like double yellow lines. I'm that guy.
But see,
And
what?
at 16 I had my first at 16 I had my first throwaway.
But see, that's part of the problem that we're talking about, right? So what leads up to the point where young people feel that they have to be doing these kind of things? You know what I'm saying? In the first place.
I'll tell you exactly what led to me doing it. I'm 16 years old. I'm at the movies I'm a football player. I'm at the movies with my cheerleader girlfriend. We going to see Terminator 2. And this didn't have nothing to do with either one of us. But so how can I word this right? So because it's social media. Fuck it. Who cares? So we're going into the movie, right? And this girl had some guys from her neighborhood. And matter of fact, they weren't even black. They were Latino. It was a Mexican thing, right? but her boyfriend was cheating on her with some other chick, so she had dudes from her hood smoke both of them right outside the movie theater. I saw it with my own eyes, and they was letting go so reckless, right? The first thing I do is I push my girlfriend down on the ground and put my body in front of hers, right? But I was a little late, and literally, she got grazed in the ass cheek. Nothing major, none of that. Life wasn't life threatening. Literally, just took off some skin. But the next day, I went and got my first throwaway.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, you know, a lot of times, man, like these examples that you're saying, and this is happening all across the country, right? Isn't this leading to what we've been talking about today, as far as the in-house violence in our culture? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Forget Rick Child and all that. The thing that happened with Rick Child, that's an anomaly. That's something that is a rarity that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? There's for every Rick Child, there's a 1,500 Don Taviuses. You see what I'm saying?
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's the
And
point.
a lot of those kids are actually good kids, just trying to protect themselves.
True. Okay. So let's say that. So this has been a big topic. I don't know if you guys have covered this previously, like the Carmelo Anthony situation. Good kid by all accounts, never got in trouble or any of that. But for whatever reason, carried a knife with him, and 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 he got into an altercation, and it led to that, and now he's in prison for the next possibly 35 years. So
Absolutely. And here's the thing, I don't make excuses for that. If you go back to where me, Cool, and Joe Collins was talking about that case, I made zero excuses, just like I made zero excuses for myself. If I'd have got caught with that throwaway, I'm doing years.
okay. Yeah, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, like, because obviously we've seen a lot of people defending him and things of that nature. But I'm like, okay, we have to peel back that onion a little bit and be like, okay, well, if you didn't have that knife on you in the first place, brother, like none of this even happens. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Right.
it's just like we put ourselves in bad situations, and when things happen, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, no, don't get it twisted. I held Carmelo Anthony 100% accountable for his actions. And if you go back like 2, 3 weeks ago, I did that. Just like I would have held myself accountable if I would have got caught. But this culture of I got the right to do whatever the fuck I want, knowing it's against the law or against the rules, is bullshit.
right,
And
right,
parents need to quit enabling that shit.
yeah,
Because I tell you what, my mama wouldn't have bailed me out of jail worth a fuck. She'd have been like, "That's on you."
agreed.
My mama wouldn't have spent a dime to bail me out. But those same people that are screaming for Carmelo Anthony to get his conviction overturned and saying it was self defense and all that shit. If you switch those two kids, if you switch Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, right, and switch the circumstances, and Austin Metcalf is still living and Carmelo Anthony is no longer on this planet, same circumstances, don't change shit. Just switch the two. They say those same people with the same circumstances, the same evidence would say Austin Metcalf need to get life. They don't,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they sure
Because
would.
because it's not about right or wrong at this point. It has turned into a race war, right?
Absolutely.
It's when you can only see color in something, you dead wrong. You
But
Right.
know.
And that's what
like
that's just my point. Like bro, if you like same circumstances, same, like I said, you just switch those two kids positions. They say that they'd say that Austin Metcalf need to be doing life and it wasn't self-defense. And that and when me, Cool Reviews, and Joe Collins talked about that shit, I said we need to stop backing people just because they're black. and look at the hard evidence and the real circumstances and hold motherfuckers accountable.
So why do you think when
Wait a minute. Tim said that's bullshit.
Damn. But Jason, I go back real quick what Jason said about the morality of our country. You know, I witnessed, that young man, that child got killed because it's a child, and it's
Give me a
like
hot minute, I'll be right back.
that child got killed. Now, what if it would have been he instead of a knife, he just would have pulled out a gun and shot the boy right there. And then the next thing is, you got people out there as his family's coming out of court. I'm glad your son was murdered. I'm
that's
glad your
crazy.
son was murdered. I mean, where is the morality of people to sit there and talk like that?
Yep.
I
Saying they
mean,
wish the
uh,
other
uh,
brother was dead.
right
Oh yeah. Yeah.
under those circumstances, I can understand if Metcalf was some big bully running around grabbing the boy off that. Come on, man. Yeah, yeah, I wish I'm glad your son is killed. I wish your other brother would have been killed. That's unacceptable.
Who's
That
Like
goes
Miss
back to
Curl
the
just said.
morality of our country.
Right. Like Miss Curl just said, we need counseling.
We need counseling.
Miss Curl
so
just said.
Yeah.
let me ask like the trauma do y'all believe that the black community has a trauma of the past again and holding it against particularly white people of today, and we just can't get past it? There's
No, I don't believe that.
you
I
don't.
don't believe that. I don't believe they have trauma of the past. I believe that they're victims of this of what they call it. What's the name of it? Critical race theory. They're victims of the narrative, critical race theory narrative that's been pushed on us heavily. And the social media made it worse because it can be promulgated abroad. You see what I'm saying? Where everything that's happening to us is because of something these people either did or is doing. And when you push that narrative, you know, it affects your thought process. I don't think they're dealing with no trauma. All the trauma that black people got came from it was inflicted on us by other black people.
Well, I don't agree with that, Jason. I don't agree with that at all.
Hey,
All is a big word, my guy.
Yeah, all is a
all
very
right,
big word.
okay. Do y'all feel better if I say 90%?
Nah,
What y'all want me to say then,
nah,
bro?
nah, Jason. I don't agree with that,
I'm
brother.
just telling you. I'm just telling you. 90%, bro. I do it like that. 90% of all the trauma we got came from us.
How can what are you basing that upon? What's your
What you
what do you?
mean?
I'm asking. I
Okay,
don't know. That's why I'm asking. I don't know what you mean.
okay.
That's why I'm asking.
You heard Zero a while ago. When he was talking about Cyrus had the 9 millimeter with him. He said, and Reggie asked him, "Will you think he had a 9 millimeter for Rick Chow?" He said, "No, he had it for somebody black." See what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Everything. I have. How many of y'all had issues? Have y'all had more issues with a black person or more issues with a white person?
Well, obviously black, because that's who you're around more.
I'm
So
around
I
all
mean,
kind of people. I see
well,
white
I mean
people every day.
well, no.
Even when I was
I
a
mean,
kid.
that's you. But the majority of black people are consistently more there throughout their week, day, month,
Okay, now,
year,
okay,
are
so show
consistently
me
around more than people of color. So of course
all
you're
the
going to have
trauma
more issue with people of color.
okay, well, you agreeing with what I said. All the trauma that we go through is from ourselves.
Well,
No,
that's what's known
go ahead.
as proximity percentage. Matter of fact,
Okay, y'all
well, no,
confirm
I'm
what
just
I
saying.
said.
Matter of fact, that goes for every race though. That goes for
We
white
don't.
people,
We're not
Asian
talking about
people.
other races.
But
No,
You're
I'm
hold on.
just
trying.
saying. No, I'm
Y'all
just making the
comparing.
point. I'm just making the
I
proximity
agree.
percentage point.
I agree. So we still you agreeing with me? All our
Yeah,
trauma is coming from
absolutely,
us.
No.
absolutely.
I can't agree with that because when you start looking at policies, and practices put in place, and
Here
bills
we
that's
go.
been passed, those bills are passed predominantly by people of
Here we go.
non-black, denomination. Yeah, here we go. You know,
Well,
I look,
and I
look,
will
look,
say
look,
this
look
though.
at.
Oh, go ahead.
Go
My
ahead.
bad. I thought you were done.
No. Go ahead, Zero.
Well, I'm just okay. I'm just saying, no other race of people in this country has been legislated against more.
Exactly.
Period.
That still hasn't brought you no
So
trauma. It still hasn't brought you no
the
trauma
fuck
though.
it hasn't.
Well,
It
Jason,
ain't
how
The
brought
can you
fuck
you
it
no
say it
hasn't.
trauma,
hasn't been?
bro.
We've
How
been
can you say it
Show
hasn't
me.
brought
Show me
those
trauma?
how you
those
got
same
trauma.
laws. Those same laws
That
kept us
absolutely
broke.
bring trauma,
Show me how it got about you trauma.
Those same laws
Jason.
kept us broke. And I don't care what nobody say. Broke motherfuckers make the best crooks.
Yes. We can go back to Reagan in the 1986 laws against you have 50, what is it, 50 grams of cocaine. You get a slap on the wrist. I mean 500. You get if you have 500 grams of cocaine, you get a slap on the wrist. You got 50 grams of crack, you getting 35 years of penitentiary. You don't think that creates trauma? And
Well,
then to
no,
top it off,
no,
hold on.
no.
Reagan passes the bill. Reagan passes the bill to lock you up, and then fast forward to '94, Clinton and Biden creates the bill to build the infrastructure that's locking you up. You don't think that's creating trauma?
No, who
You
taught
don't
you how to cook
associate
crack?
that with trauma?
No, who taught you how to cook crack?
What you mean? It don't
White
matter.
Who
people,
taught you how to cook
white
crack?
people,
It don't matter who taught you
white
how to cook
people.
it. Where did you
Ain't
get
no
it
white
from?
people.
How,
Stop that,
how did
Zero.
you get it? How
Stop
The,
did
that,
you
C,
get
Zero.
the
it?
CIA
Ain't no
admitted.
white
The
people.
CIA admitted they
Ain't
No, no,
came
no,
no
up
no,
with the
no.
room with
formula.
you.
How did you
Hold
get
on.
crack?
Hold on. Zero. Ain't
No,
no white people
yeah,
walked in no room with you and showed you how to cook no doggone crack. Stop. Don't tell that
okay.
lie.
Who do you think came up with the formula? You think niggas had
I
enough
don't care who
money to
came up with the
blow
formula.
to
I don't care
experiment?
It don't
To wait,
matter.
hold on,
It,
wait. You asked me the question.
okay, go
I'm
ahead.
giving you
Go
the
ahead.
answer. Do you think niggas had enough money to blow to experiment with burning up kilos of cocaine into recipe? Come on, bro.
Okay.
Jason, let me ask you this: Why is the opioid epidemic a rehabilitation epidemic, and the crack epidemic was a criminal epidemic? You go to jail.
Well, it's
You
two
don't
ways
think
to
that's
look.
trauma?
It's two ways.
You
Trauma to who?
to blacks, Jason.
How
You
is
don't
that
think that's
trauma? It ain't
trauma?
got nothing to do with you.
You what? No. Yes, no. I'm comparing the two. You don't think going to penitentiary for 20, 35 years, you 20 years, 5 years, one day, you don't think that creates trauma through generations?
You
You
created your
don't you
own
don't
trauma
see
because you
you
decided.
don't
Look,
see no you don't think that
bro.
creates trauma.
No, you created it though.
Oh my goodness.
Let's
Sean,
see what
if you
Jason is
decided to
saying.
Okay.
get in the crack game, you creating your own trauma. You bring that
Jason,
trauma on yourself.
I'm even talking about kids that were born on crack. Why is it that the
How
opioid
was they born
epidemic
on crack?
answer this question for me. Why was the opioid epidemic we're going through right now? It's a rehabilitation, it's an addiction.
It's two
Versus
ways to
when
look at
crack,
it.
what's the difference? Tell me what's the difference. Go
Well, it's
ahead.
two ways to look at it.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
One way to look at it is they looking out for theirs. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is, well, we learned that the way we did it with the crack epidemic, that wasn't helping people. So we gonna do it different now.
But Jason,
Wait a minute. It could be either one of them ways.
wait a minute. But Jason,
You
I hear
answer the
what you're
question.
saying. I hear what you're saying. You said the first thing they're looking out for theirs. Right. They create the
Maybe, maybe
laws.
not.
Hold on, let me finish. They create maybe they do, maybe they're not. They create the laws. Then number two, you said, they learned from the crack epidemic, so they doing it different. Well, go back and take all them, eradicate their records, expunge their records. You're not gonna take that
Well,
felony off their
I
record.
tell you what.
You're
I
not
tell
gonna
you
take
what.
that felony off their record. If
Wait,
they
why
learn
not?
from it, take that
Why not?
felony off their
Well,
record.
why they can't take it out? Go, y'all voted in Jasmine Crockett instead of her chasing down the orange man that ain't done nothing to her. She should be in there pushing to get them people record turned over.
Well, that's what niggas get for voting in tethers. Number one, and falling for the fucking okie doke. Jasmine Crockett ain't even hood. She was raised upper middle class and went to fucking private school. So fuck is she doing, snapping her neck and rolling her eyes up in the Congress floor for? But that's what you niggas like, right?
Oh, shit.
That's what you niggas like, right? That's what you think represents us. You know what I'm saying? Joe Biden sat there, oh, I'm gonna put a black woman in the fucking in the Supreme Court. And what he do? Put a tether in there.
One who pushes all the negative things that we've been talking about. Pushes
Y'all niggas,
homosexuality.
yeah.
Can't take
Y'all niggas sat there and let Joe Biden's racist ass tell you weren't black if he wasn't voting for him. Y'all sat there and let Hillary tell y'all, oh, I got a bottle of hot sauce in my purse. You niggas fall for the dumbest fucking shit. I said what the fuck I said, nigga. Y'all niggas sat there and let Kamala cosplay as a black woman, tying her Timberlands to the goddamn top, knowing she's 100% South Asian Indian. Fuck niggas. I said what the fuck I said.
So wait, Tim. What you talking about, Tim? Who you talking about, Tim?
He's saying Willie Lynch wasn't a real person, but we
Yeah,
see
but
it.
he talking about he see it live. Well, you see it
Well,
where?
okay, yeah.
You
No,
see it where?
I don't give a fuck if that nigga was real or not. Y'all niggas really fall for the fucking performative bullshit. Y'all niggas really sit there and let Kamala Harris tell y'all she make greens in the fucking bathtub. Man, y'all make me goddamn sick.
the problem is, like I said,
Right.
I think we all understand this. In
So
politics, you have to be performative in order for black people to really pay attention to you as a collective. You know, we fall for the antics. We don't really look at really true policy. We look at what people say and how they say it, and what they call people names, and because that's what we do as a group of people. And I hate that for us. You know what I mean? And this is why
I mean,
we're not offering
you
anything.
you're right. Now you said that's what we do, right? Now all races do
Yeah.
that, but the difference is they okay with disagreeing with one another and vote for different parties. We think
Right.
that we don't have that liberty to vote for different parties, to just disagree and go for different parties. We want to cancel anybody that don't vote Democrat. We want to cancel
Yeah.
them and everything.
Absolutely. And that's the goddamn problem. We sitting there giving our votes away for absolutely nothing. In 2016, they leaked Hillary's email and basically told you niggas that she wasn't even gonna promise you shit. She was gonna talk slick and not give you a fucking thing. And y'all sat there and when I say Nick, we all, you know who the fuck I'm talking to. I ain't talking to nobody up here because we all smart and fucking intelligent. But y'all sat there and still voted for that bitch, knowing she called y'all a super predator in fucking '92.
Because
Well, for me, I don't understand how people of color, I ain't gonna be as rough as Zero is, but how people of color went out for Kamala Harris. Number one, she said, "I don't see America as a racist country." That's number one. And number two, I'm not gonna do nothing just for black people. I don't understand that. Then, and I go back to this day, I don't understand how Joe Biden can do everything but sit there and call black people super predators or whatever. Um, do everything but call them the N word and create a bill that was the intent. The intent, I don't care what it did or didn't say, but the intent was to lock black folks up, and it worked. I just don't. And you, when we still, like Claude Anderson said, we need to, and Zero just said, we need to stop giving our vote away. We need to
So
stop
right
giving our
here,
vote away.
Miss Curl said we got. She said, "Who we got, gentlemen, to put out there? Who we got?
No
We don't."
fucking body, and
It's
that's
What?
no fucking
yeah.
body, and
I
that's the way
agree.
it should be.
I agree.
I'm
No,
just
I
gonna say that.
there's
I'm
not
just
I
gonna
agree.
there's
say that.
not one black politician worth a fuck.
And
I
I,
agree.
I, I agree. I agree with you on that. It don't have to be somebody that look like us. Sometimes you got to ally against people that don't look like you,
You
and
know,
and
enemy
and,
of.
and, and they might have your best interest, and they don't even. They're not the same color you are,
Yeah,
race
Miss
you are.
Curl.
Nah, them.
No,
There's
we
not one
tried that, Miss
politician
Curl.
that's gonna do shit. That's gonna do shit to help us, and we need to sit out all fucking public office elections for the next 6 years.
No,
But this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like Wilo, he brought up the Joe Biden, how people can just overlook his past, what he's done. Not even he didn't even mention the part where he was best friends with what was it? I forgot Robert Byrd, who was the
Robert
Kliegel.
Byrd.
He was a Kliegel of the KKK. Yeah, he claimed he renounced it, but just think if for 1 second if any of these people caught Donald Trump in a picture waving and speaking at a person who was the Kliegel of the KKK's funeral, like Joe Biden did,
Nah, but his daddy
we would never
was in
hear
the
the end
Klan.
of it. And
His
just
daddy was in the Klan.
huh?
You think he ain't racist? But that's the thing. Motherfuckers sit there and say, "Oh, he's racist." So the fuck what? Name a president who wasn't. Now I'll wait.
Well, my thing, and that may be true, but I'm thinking like I'm using my logic here. Here was a man again. This is not a defense of Donald Trump. I'm just saying things that are true. Prior to 2015, who do we know that has any kind of prominence called Donald Trump a racist?
they just started doing that when he
They
when he
just
when he
started
ran.
doing it when
Well,
he ran for
well,
president. It was never said.
no, no, no,
Never.
no. At
Okay,
first,
well, let's do this then. Name another president who has
He
who
said his dad did it.
pleaded,
Okay.
who took up,
Okay.
who name it, name
Hold on.
another president who settled a racial discrimination lawsuit. Oh wait, he's a racist. So the fuck what though? God damn, get over the shit.
But I mean, just throwing the racist word out. I mean, it has been watered down so much. Everybody's a racist. Like this is
He
crazy.
literally has a racial discrimination lawsuit against him that he settled out. That he
it
settled.
don't matter, bro.
I'm
Settling
okay.
out court
Are we talking?
is not
Hold on. Wait a
admission of
minute. Wait
guilt.
a minute. Are we talking
Right,
about
but
that thing?
out that
Wait. Hold
motherfucker's
on.
out his same mouth, he said guilty people don't settle. Listen
Wait a
to the
minute.
man
It
talk.
don't matter.
He said
Settle out of
guilty
court.
people
It
don't
don't
settle,
matter,
but
bro. It
settled a
don't matter.
racial discrimination
It
lawsuit.
don't
Fuck
matter,
it, he's
bro.
a
Okay. This
racist.
was
It
So
don't
the
matter,
this
fuck
bro.
happened back in
what?
the '70s, right?
Yeah,
Is
That's your
I agree
opinion,
with
bro.
Zero.
this what you're
That's your
talking about?
Nah,
opinion.
It
he's
was
a
settled out
racist.
back in the '70s
Nah,
because
that's your opinion, bro.
I have a hard time.
In that case, everybody racist then.
I have a
So
hard
Y'all
time
what?
killing me with
believe.
this shit.
Okay, so tell me.
You black niggas are the most racist motherfuckers I know.
I
Y'all
believe
killing
it.
me, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay then. So why y'all give a
Fuck
fuck? So why
everybody. Fuck
why
everybody,
y'all even
including
care?
niggas.
Bro,
Fuck
why y'all even
everybody,
care
including
about somebody
niggas.
being racist? Don't judge nobody else for being racist if you wouldn't accept that your ass is racist. Y'all be killing me with this stuff, bro.
I just said so the fuck what? It don't mean shit. Every president we've ever fucking had has been racist. So what's special about this one? I'll wait.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Zero. I mean that's possibly true. I just hate just casually throwing the racist word out on people when I'm like, bro, like I just it's gotten to the point where it's been weaponized for for this political world, and
Ridiculous,
people
bro.
keep
Sick
falling
of it.
for it. People keep falling for it. It's stupid.
Why people
It,
keep bringing it up? You act
but
like you said, if it ain't nothing, it don't matter. If they all racist, why they keep bringing it up with this man? They ain't never
it's
mentioned a
only
racist
him.
on
I
any
don't get it.
president more than they have with this man. And what's so bad about it? This man has showed more. He got more proof of doing good for black people than all other presidents combined.
And the funny thing about it,
Okay,
it don't matter what you
so
bring up.
check
These
this
people
out.
already have their mind made up, and they won't change it. No matter what you say,
Okay,
no
so
matter
check this
what
out.
evidence you
His
present, they
his
don't care.
presidential idol, but I'm saying, okay, I brought up the lawsuit, right? That's a verifiable fact, right? We all agree. right?
When was the lawsuit?
If you go
Hold on.
look it up if you
When
don't
was the
believe me.
lawsuit?
But who gives a fuck? He was a grown ass
I'm
goddamn
asking
adult.
for a reason because I have okay. If you're saying it was the lawsuit over the apartments and all that, is that what you're saying? Because he wouldn't rent to black people? Is that it? I'm trying to
Yes.
figure it out. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So that was back in the '70s, correct? I don't know the specifics about that. It's been
Oh,
varying details, but even after that, this man has been awarded by the NAACP. Muhammad Ali,
the
Jesse Jackson, all of these
NAACP ain't
people
shit.
were still with him. So if he was verifiable that he was a
The
racist, why
NAACP
would?
is ran by white people, and Jesse Jackson's a fucking coon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I talk shit
But
about dead niggas too.
look, Zero. It don't matter what we say, bro. You got black people. You got black people that's gonna come forward and have a personal. They're gonna give you a personal testimony with this man, and y'all still gonna respond the same way. It don't matter.
Jesse Jackson is
I
a
don't know why
Democrat
he didn't
fucking
run.
coon.
You can't get Jennifer
This is
Hudson.
the same nigga. This is the same nigga that wait.
Bro,
Jesse Jackson,
now you
who
can
had
stop now. G-Ro, you can just stop because it don't even matter. It don't matter.
talking about? Is this
It
the
don't
same
matter, bro.
Jesse
You might as
Jackson?
well just
Wait,
stop.
wait, wait.
Hold
Hold
on.
on,
Let him
y'all.
talk, Jason. Let him talk,
It
Is
Jason.
don't
this
matter,
is
bro.
the same
Every
Jesse
example
Jackson
he can
who's
give,
own
I give an
who's
example where he did something good for a black person. So it don't even matter,
is it
dog. We wasting our time.
is this the same is this the same Jesse
The
Jackson
same
who
one
raised the
that put
son
Jennifer
who
Hudson
robbed
family
who
up in
wait
a
Hey,
hotel room
hold
for
on.
free
Two people
for
can't
over a
talk at the
year.
same time. Two
But,
people can't
we
talk at
wasting our time, bro. We wasting. I don't even want to hear this
two
shit.
people can't talk at the
I
same
don't even want
time.
to hear it, though. We can change the subject because we're wasting our time.
Well.
Every example he
You
give
can't.
me, I'm
Wait a
giving
minute.
an example.
Hold on. You
No,
can't change the subject because you
no,
don't like what
no.
he's saying.
I can't change the subject
No,
because
you
we're wasting
can't.
our
That ain't
fucking
no.
time.
You can't do that.
No,
No,
sir,
no,
we
you
wasting our
can't.
fucking time.
Well,
The
let him
same
say
way
what he.
you
Wait.
text me and told me don't bring up no black topics this week.
No,
I can tell this,
no,
I
no,
can
no,
tell this brother that we don't want to hear that shit
no.
because
But you can't. No, no.
it
You
ain't
can't
getting
do that.
nowhere, bro.
You can't do that, Jason.
I'm doing the same thing you did to me
No,
on our group chat yesterday.
no. But
You told me don't bring up no more black
that's a
topics to this show,
but
and I didn't.
but
But
that's a private. That's a
I told you
private.
then that it was gonna turn into a black topic anyway. Didn't I tell you that?
Well, hold on. Let him say his spiel, and you respond to it.
Well, we
You
gonna be all
respond to
day,
it.
dog. We
No, we
gonna be
not.
all day. He gonna come with
So,
something else. I'm gonna come with something else. We might as well just change the subject.
cool
hey,
This man
cool
is hell
hey, it's
reviews.
bent.
cool
Cool
review.
He's
Shut up.
hell
You
reviews.
want to
bent on
change
this
the
man
subject?
running
We can
away.
change it.
Hold on. Cool reviews. You take control of it. What's the next? Well, he on the phone. Cool reviews. All right. What was the next thing? What was the next thing? What was the
Now
next
let the man
topic?
talk. Go ahead. Let him talk.
Go ahead, Zero.
Okay, I'm just saying. Jesse Jackson ain't nobody to hold up. Ain't this the same dude who raised a criminal ass son who stole from the fucking public taxes?
Well,
Nigga, was he
that.
black?
No.
I
You
don't
can't
give a
throw that.
fuck.
You can't throw
He
that
was
on his.
black though. He was
But
I don't
black.
give a
Racist
fuck.
is
Man,
racist,
hold on,
bro.
Jason.
Kwame
Hold on,
Brown was
Jason.
black.
Jason, hold
Motherfucking
on.
Tiffany Henry
It
black.
don't
I don't
matter.
give a
It
fuck.
don't
Jason,
matter.
hold on, Jason.
A
Jason, stop.
racist, it don't matter. No,
Jason,
son. If
let me
his
say
skin was
something.
black, no, his argument was based on the fact that he racist. It don't matter what the black person's
Jason,
character was.
hold up, Jason.
His argument was that he racist.
Jason, hold up, Jason, hold on. Time out. Zero. You can't
Yeah,
put that on Jesse Jackson because of what his son did. You can't do
nigga,
that.
the best, the
How can you put
yeah,
that on
no,
Jesse Jackson?
because the best.
I can't. Did somebody mute his mic? I can't hear him.
nah, I think you. Yeah.
I'll be right
No,
back.
I'm saying
Okay.
Go ahead, Zero. Now go ahead.
okay.
I'll
Respond.
be back.
The best way to judge a motherfucker is by the kids that they leave behind.
You can't. No. That's no. I can't accept that. I cannot accept that. No, you can't say the best way to judge a parent is based on the way their kids are.
That's how
Because
you judge
because
parents, bro. You judge
because
parents by how their kids turn out.
no. Because we can go to any penitentiary, any jail, and I don't care if the kid is white, black, Mexican, green, blue, purple. There's kids, there's people that are in there that came from good stock. I'm gonna give you an
And I
example.
promise you that's the minority, bro.
No, I don't agree with that.
The majority of people in you're saying the majority of people in prison came from good homes?
No, no, no. What I'm saying, no, what you said was based on what he did is based on his father and how he raised him. Am I
No.
correct?
That's how you judge Jesse. Is by you judge people by how they leave things, not how they got them. And Jesse Jackson left the black community worse than when he got it.
How?
Number one, he was the biggest race hustler on the goddamn planet, and them old ass boomer niggas of his generation enabled that shit.
Okay, I don't disagree with that.
But you know what, Zero? This is what I'm gonna say. I'm not a big Jesse Jackson fan, but I'm gonna give Jesse Jackson credit. Jesse Jackson was one of the only black people, leaders, or wherever you want to identify him. I don't care if you consider him a leader or not. He was one of the only. When Joe Biden was passing that, and all the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, and all of them were saying, yep, and all of those black mayors, and all of them were saying, yep, good bill, good bill. Jesse Jackson was one of the only people that said, this is a bad deal that you all are putting in place, and it's going to impact blacks. You everybody.
Absolutely, I didn't say that. I didn't say the nigga was worthless.
Right. I
I didn't
mean,
say he was always wrong.
we're not just going to identify the negative impact. So we got to give him credit where credit is due also. And I'm not a big Jesse Jackson fan. Don't get me
Make
wrong.
your mind up, bro. Is he worthless or
I'm not a
not?
fan at all, but I no, I'm not a Jesse Jackson fan at all. But I will give him credit when he earned it. But I'm saying overall, he hurt more than he helped.
So what that got to do with Trump being racist?
I just said he's racist. Get the fuck over it. I don't give a fuck.
But
So what? He's racist. That he's not.
you went to going in on
He's
Jesse
not the
Jackson,
first
bro.
racist president we've ever fucking had. He's not the first racist president we've ever had. Get the fuck over it,
Okay, so
people.
what's the point of bringing it up? That's not
I
gonna
didn't
help
bring
our
it up. I
situation.
responded. I didn't bring it up. I responded. I wasn't the one who brought up Trump at all. I don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. My city council affects my day-to-day life more than the fucking president.
True.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
I
I don't
definitely
give
agree
I
with
don't
you
give a
on that.
fuck that right. I'm just saying I don't give a fuck that Donald Trump is racist, and I think people need to get the fuck over it because he's not the first racist president we've ever had.
And that's true too.
Hey, Zero. Tim got something for you. He said, "What have you did for this community?" He said, "You only have the voice because of Jesse."
I don't owe Jesse Jackson shit, and the shit I do for the community ain't got a goddamn thing to do with that nigga. First of all, let's be real. Let's be fucking honest. And second, what have I done for the community? Shit, I feed the kids of the hungry ass kids of black women who can't afford to put their fucking kids in some whose kids ain't in summer school. And in California, right where I live, when you go to school, you eat two meals, breakfast and lunch. When you're not in school, you don't get them shits. I contribute to those programs. I work those fucking programs. I teach kids how to fucking read. I do a fucking school supply drive every fucking fall to give black kids a backpack, a pack of pencils, a pack of pens, some notebook paper, and highlighters every fucking year. And I do that with my stand-up comedy. The fuck you do, Tim? Suck my dick, nigga.
Oh, hold on, bro. Oh, wait. Hold on now.
Oh,
Hold on. We're not gonna do that, bro. He good people.
Nah, if you gonna question me, you gonna get the answer you don't like. Cause you sitting there questioning me what the fuck I do just cause I got an opinion you don't like. That what should be okay is an opinion you don't like, but I don't have to justify that with community works. What if I don't do none of that shit? I'm not entitled to an opinion? Man, y'all can lick my whoever don't like what I say can suck my left nut, whether I do community work or not.
All right, hold on. Let's have some boundaries on the show.
Yeah. The cussing. Yeah. Okay. Now go ahead.
We're not gonna invite nobody to our privacy. All right.
Yeah. But well, I don't necessarily believe you have to do community work to even to be an asset in your community. Hell, I raised two productive, well, put kids in the environment where
Hey
they could go
Tim,
out
Tim.
and be
I mean, hey
productive
Zero,
citizens in
Zero.
our
I
society.
had to put you in a timeout, Zero. You got to go to timeout for a little bit.
Now let's zero back in. Let him in. Let him speak. Let him
Now
speak.
I muted his mic for a second.
Oh, okay. But yeah. But nah, I mean some of the stuff he said, I agree with him. Name me a president. Hell, we had presidents that had slaves. It don't get no more racist than that. I mean, you can't top that. So I agree with him on that, you know. Yeah,
Yeah, say that, but we don't act like that's true though. We act like Donald Trump. Well, I say we majority of black people vote Democrat. Act like Donald Trump is the most racist person to ever walk this earth. So we can say that all day, but we don't act like that. That's my
And
point.
Democrat is the party of the Ku Klux Klan.
well, the thing about that, Jason, we all know the party switched over, so we can't, you know,
No, that's Tim.
that's a
That's
historical
nonsense.
fact.
No,
No,
it's
that's
not.
true.
No,
No,
it's
that's
not.
true.
No, it's not.
That is a historical. That's
Okay,
history.
Sean. Hold
You
on.
can't reject
So,
that.
they just found out that the SCL, whatever it is, that black organization, that
Southern Christian Leadership
yes,
Committee, I guess, was
they
the
funded.
something like that.
They vote Democrat, but they still funding the doggone Ku Klux Klan. Don't tell me about no switch over.
They did switch over.
Did they not just?
Dixiecrats. There was
Okay, that's
Dixiecrat went
fine.
from.
Okay, they switched over. Now they just switched back because when they just
No.
funded the Ku
I
Klux
mean,
Klan,
have you ever heard Fannie Newheimer
The
talk?
Southern Black Leadership Council was just funding the Ku Klux Klan. Yes or no?
I don't know. I'd have to look at that. I don't know. I'm not saying you're
Reggie, you
right
know
or
about that,
wrong.
Reggie?
You talking
Say
about
again.
present day or past?
Yeah, present day.
Oh, I don't
Reggie, you know
know.
about that? All right.
But
I couldn't hear you.
Cool reviews,
I had
pull
to
it
switch up.
up.
but you know what? Now you don't need to pull it up. But the thing is,
Oh,
Jason.
you know.
But the thing is, like we know, like me and you know, and Zero tapped on it. We know the NAACP was started by black or whites. That's not my opinion. That's not my feeling. That's a historical documented fact. W.E.B. Du Bois and white people created and helped us get the NAACP rolling. So, and I say that to say, well, what's the veil behind the SCLC? Who's really in charge? I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know. I'll look at it when we get off this line. But you know, what's the makeup of it?
Well,
Who's the
you got black
makeup?
people. You got black people. The majority of them black, and they knew what was going on.
Well, Jason, it don't matter if the majority of them black. Who has the power? See what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm telling you I don't. I'm telling you I don't know. I'm not debating it either way because I don't know. But I look at it like this: race is a very new thing in America. When you create division based on race, that is a new thing. And when I say new, I mean 400 or 500 years new, 400 or 500 years ago. And I've said this a million times. Bacon's rebellion, when those white indentured servants and those black slaves unified together and said, we are going against the 1%, the elitists, and we finna cause chaos. We finna cause some chaos about
Tim,
what they doing to us. And and when that happened, those white elitists said, we can't have this no more. So we're gonna create two different class of people, a white class and a black class. And the white servants, the white poor people, we're gonna put y'all above the black whatever. I don't care if you was a slave owner, not slave. That was created And it's been in place for the last 500 years.
Tim, you
That's
got to
by
go to the group
design.
chat and hit the link.
Huh? That's by design.
Hold on. I'm telling Tim, you got to go to the group chat and hit the link, man.
But we're never going to get anywhere with all this white, black, until we learn how to unify and come together where there's more power in a unified group than these separate entities.
Yep. I can't argue with that.
You know, it's a historical fact. The biggest ally of blacks have been white people. I mean, that's nothing to argue about. The
I
biggest
don't think
ally to blacks in movement, a black movement, and they got things moved for blacks have been white people. Who's
I don't
gonna
think Tim
argue
agree with
that?
you on this, John.
Huh?
I don't think Tim would agree with you on
That's
that.
our biggest ally.
Well, I can go through history and show it. I can go who fought in the Civil War beside blacks, white people. When I look at the civil rights movement, there's white people who died for this. John Brown, I don't know a black person that will ever do what John Brown did, and he was a white man. Ain't no black person gonna sign up for what he signed up for. I'm gonna go down here and die for these Negroes, and I'm gonna sign my 2 kids up to go die too. Ain't no black person for another race, and I'm okay, and I can say, ain't no black person finna sign up for that. Ain't no
Okay,
black
they've
person
also
finna
been our
sign up
biggest
for that.
roadblock, though.
Well, John Brown was roadblock, and he said you gotta kill me because I'm going through the roadblock. So kill
Okay,
me
and
and my sons.
I'm
Kill me and my
acknowledging that.
sons
I'm
because
saying
we
though
going through the roadblock.
they've also been our biggest roadblock.
And
Donald
I
Trump would have
agree.
did it.
I agree
Biggest
with
road.
you.
I'm not trying to take
So,
away what John Brown did. That was historically important, and you know what
It's
I mean.
very
Like
important.
it was literally big in pushing things forward for us. But at the same time, they've also been our biggest roadblock.
Absolutely.
okay then, but what you gonna do? You got somebody that's still willing to work with you.
Well, nah, and here's the thing: you're actually very right because the same people. First of all, especially now that we don't own as many businesses as we used to, we're the main people putting money in our pockets is white people because we don't own businesses like we used to, and we go to white people for jobs. The person that owns the company I work for is white, and he signs my check every 2 weeks.
Sometimes we act like we forget that.
That part.
That's not for real. That's true. I'm just
You
saying, like,
know,
we have to get past all the animosity, man, like that we have collective towards like white people and all that. Like, it's just,
You
I
know,
get too
there's
off.
dichotomies to almost everything in this country, right? There's oxymorons everywhere. Like, yeah, okay, Democrats is the party of the KKK, but who's carrying Confederate flags now?
well, I'll never. You can't. I'll never understand. For me, I'm like Claude Anderson said. Man, I don't understand why people of color keep aligning them. I've been on this earth 50 plus years. And since I've been on this earth, I've heard the same complaint about the treatment of black people by white. I've heard that complaint ever since I've been on this earth. And we've had Democratic presidents, we've had Republican presidents, we've even had a black president. But through all of that, this has been consistent. And I agree with Jason 100%. What them white folks would do, they'll they'll align themselves to what their best interest is, whether it's harmful to them, whether it's they think it's good for them. They just not going to keep voting a certain way just because. But it's been consistent for the last, what, how many years? 40, 50, 60, 70 years. We have consistently aligned ourselves with the Democratic Party. But the complaint ain't changed. Make that make sense to me. I heard the guy Connie Green get on TV after on the Breakfast Club after Trump got elected this second time and said, "Yeah, we didn't keep our promises to the people." Like, make this make sense, people. I agree with Claude, and I agree with what Zero said too. Hey, man, stop just giving your vote away. They ain't got to offer you nothing because you gonna vote that party anyway. That just don't make sense to me. That
Look,
just don't make
look,
sense to me.
look right there. Tim said, "You can respect white folks, but don't never forget." Bro, some of y'all need to forget because y'all can't
And
think straight.
yeah,
Some of you need to forget, not all of us, but some because y'all don't know how to handle the information. You can't think straight. All somebody got to do is mention the word race. You out of there. You can't think straight at all. It's so black people are so easy, dog, to control.
yeah,
If I was a white person, y'all, black people would be the least of my worries. It's so easy to control. You just throw your little something out there, you gone. You gone. Emotional, irrational, out of there. Like Sean just said, it don't even make sense why you still stuck on that party, on that Democratic plantation. But you know how? All we gotta do is say the other people racist. Boom, you gone. Oh, you
that's
can't
it.
think straight. Can't think straight. You gone.
That's all it takes. That's all it is. That's all it has ever took is for the Democrats to call the Republicans racist. That's it. Don't have to
That's
do. They
it.
don't have to offer you nothing else. Just hey, don't vote for them. They racist. We not. Vote for us, and y'all do.
Gone. Out of
That's
there.
it. How simple minded can you be to do something like that? You don't get anything in return, but other than some little platitude of saying, "Hey, we're your friend. Hey, vote for us. We're not racist." It's like, come on, bro. Like this is, and people wonder why we cannot get ahead as a collective group. And I'm not saying all black people are the same because I don't believe that. But as a collective, black people are at the very bottom of every serious statistic in this country, and there's a reason behind that.
They would have been on Biden ass too if a Democrats would have said he was racist.
Correct.
They'd have been out of there on him too. The same way they doing Trump. All they needed was a handful of Democrats to push that narrative and say that Biden was racist. He'd been out of there.
Well, that's the problem, though. Biden was racist, is racist.
Yeah.
Nobody
Gonna
said
be
that.
right.
Nobody was saying
That's
that back then,
right.
though.
I'm trying to agree with you, bro. Like Biden is a bona fide racist, is on record being racist, on camera being racist, but because he has a blue tie and
Ooh,
was
there you
vice
go.
president and was half vice president to half a tether, it all is forgiven somehow, and everybody want to forget. But nah, like that's what I'm saying. We fall for the dumbest shit when it comes to these political campaigns, and we forget somehow we got a short memory for the racists that in the blue tie. You know what I'm saying?
And Tim, I didn't go out the room because of my emotions. I went to use the bathroom, brother. Now for my emotions, I get a little animated, I get a little audible, and then I'm back chilling. I ain't gotta leave out the room. Yeah, you don't get that bad for me.
Yeah,
Have
nah,
y'all,
like
let me ask y'all something. Jason, did y'all go over already the birthright citizenship and the
Nah,
transgender deal that
we
passed in the
wanted
Supreme Court?
we wanted you to be here for that.
Why you want me to be here for that?
Cause
Transgender deal.
I need somebody that's gonna go deep.
and
Why you need somebody that's gonna go deep?
I know, I know, I
well,
know.
Hey,
who?
yo,
I know
pause.
zero ain't gonna
Whoa.
go deep. Zero ain't gonna go deep, so I had to wait
Yeah,
on you.
zero gonna kill everybody.
Nah. Well, okay. So
He just gonna kill everybody.
nah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But seriously, okay. Who blocked the defense of the 14th Amendment and what it was originally meant for? A Democrat tether.
I I mean, I understand the original intent behind it. Um, Claude Anderson talks very deeply about, very in depth about the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, and those amendments were part of the Reconstruction era, and it was to give slaves a equal playing field, and I say that very loosely, extremely loosely. You know, they even have a Supreme Court case where Supreme Court Justice, I want to say Samuel Freeman, they had a white meat company tried to go to the Supreme Court and said they were being treated unfairly, and they tried to use that amendment, the 14th Amendment, those amendments. And that Supreme Court justice said this is like over 100 years ago. He told them, no, you can't. And the company was a white company. He said, no, you can't use that. Those were meant for descendants of slaves and black people. That's a Supreme Court case that said that. White Supreme Court justice said that. So I understand when Trump says, you know, well, that amendment was for black people, descendants of slaves. And he's correct. He's right. He's 1,000% correct. But what I don't like is when you get a person like Clarence Thomas who says his resume for his decisions in the Supreme Court since he's been a justice, the Constitution is colorblind. But now all of a sudden, in this situation, the Constitution isn't colorblind. I just don't agree with that. I don't
Well,
agree with that at all.
first of all, when Clarence Thomas was young, he was extremely pro-black, and black
Yeah,
people
Black
treated him
Panther.
like yeah, and black people treated him like shit. That's what you get, niggas. That's what you boomer ass niggas get.
And he's definitely that now. So
I'm saying when Clarence Thomas was in college and pre-law and law school, he was extremely pro-black,
he was a
like
Black Panther.
vehemently so. And then because of he's working for us, but because he has disagreements here and there, and because he's dark skinned and ugly, niggas treated him like shit.
I called him a house nigga, sellout, coon.
Okay,
Clarence
we.
Thomas is the sellout, man. He's a
Uh,
coon, Jason.
I don't know.
okay.
But here's the other thing. Here's the other
I didn't
thing. Out of
call
all
him
this,
anything.
out of all the Supreme Court justices who aren't white, he contributes the most money still to black people and black causes to this day.
But I don't know about that. I would have to look at that. I mean, here's a man who used affirmative action to help him get into the position he's in. He's a direct user of affirmative action. Ain't my opinion. That's a fact.
That
And
is
you vote to get rid of it.
because,
Like God,
but he
I,
said,
I,
but
I
it's
mean, come
affirmative
on.
needed now.
Because we weren't the main benefactors of it
Hey,
anymore.
Reggie, your mic, get your mic. We can't hardly hear you.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me log
Go
back
ahead.
in.
We weren't the main benefactors of it anymore. Were
And
we?
maybe
Or am I? Or are the numbers skewed and I'm wrong?
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers, so I can't say yay or nay to that. But I
That's the
can
same as
say
that
that
DEI stuff. It's the same thing.
well, DEI is not a law. It's not a rule. That's just whether you don't have to legally practice DEI. You don't have to legally practice DEI. That's if you
I
want to
think
or not.
affirmative action. I think affirmative action served its purpose. It ran its course, and things evolve.
I agree with that actually.
I hear what you're saying, but didn't they just have a case where what was it? The Yale students, was it Yale? What was the case with the students were getting into school based on um what they call it, vetted, being vetted in because the granddaddy went there, the daddy went there, and because it was strictly based on historical bias because of their race, and this was
They're
within
called
the
no,
last.
those are called legacy students. Your daddy
Right,
went
yeah,
to
yeah,
Yale,
yeah. I
you
think
get
that's
into
what it
Yale.
was. What do you remember? What school that was that they had that big thing where they got
It,
exposed?
it
When was it?
was
Like
it.
2 or 3 years ago? Do you know what I'm
I
talking
didn't
about?
know every school does that, and I didn't know it was a big thing. But see, now that they roll back DEI, actually, black enrollment at Ivy League universities has stayed the exact same. You know who's hurting? Asians.
Well, yeah. Well, Asians led the push. Was it Harvard, Tim? It was
Him said
Harvard.
Harvard.
It was Harvard. How long ago was that, Tim? I think it was within the last 4 years. It's been very, very recently. And it was a big old blow up about that.
But Asians were the main ones pushing it, thinking black students were taking their kids' spot when it was really white when they were really benefiting way more. Because like I said, black enrollment in Ivy League schools hasn't declined at all, but Asian numbers have declined the most because now that you roll back DEI and they can do the legacy thing again. You know what I'm saying? They let all these other kids who their uncle or whatever went there. Now Asian enrollment in Ivy League schools is down because they're letting in more white kids. Black people still doing the same thing they were doing before that.
Mm, mm,
Miss
mm,
Girl
mm.
said the HBCU enrollment is up 76%.
Uh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Hey,
HBCUs
pull
enrollment.
Reggie up. Okay.
What
Who
I
was that?
miss?
Joe. Who was Joe
Joe
Collins?
Collins in the chat. Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing?
Who said he don't know but still talking? What are you talking about?
That's Joe.
What is he
That's
talking
Joe
What
about?
he
being Joe.
referring to? What's he referring to though? I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean, maybe HBCU enrollment is up 76%. But
so
I mean, if that's the case, then good for HBCUs.
what's the downside to the birthright citizenship staying in place?
What's the
We get replaced. I mean, I didn't think that was a question.
Obviously, a lot of people don't know that.
what's the downside of what?
The birthright citizenship staying in place.
What's the downside of birthright citizenship staying in place?
Yeah,
I mean, it's been in place for what, hundreds of. When was that? When was that created? Right after the Civil War.
but you gotta understand though, Sean. That's a loophole for for immigrants to come over to come over here.
Well, I mean, that's always been there for that. I mean, it ain't that
But
was.
the numbers is getting too out of control. It don't make sense, dog. Think about it. Everybody else have to go through all this to become a citizen, and all somebody got to do is go on take a vacation over here, drop a baby. Now that baby got dual citizenship.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, uh, it's called citizenship tourism, and a ring of Chinese people got busted in California, not too far from my house, up the street, not around the corner from my old apartment. Um, before my wife and I bought a house, but they got busted literally bringing pregnant Chinese women over to deliver here with a Disneyland trip included, and
Yeah,
their kids were automatic dual citizens, and after the kid was deemed healthy enough to travel, they fly home, raise that kid in China, and but it would be that kid was a dual citizen because they were born here.
yeah. I heard something about that this morning. And then what can happen? It's a threat to our national security because those kids are raised in a communist regime, and they get to come back and forth over here. They can be spies. They can get information, technology, and everything, and take it back and forth to their country.
Matter of fact, a city official in right here in California just pled guilty to that.
It's crazy. Where you at, Sean?
I don't think they're. I don't think. Well, it ain't. I don't think. I mean, it just was. They just denied Trump's um, proposal to end it, so it's not going nowhere.
And that was a
Congress
mistake, in
isn't.
my opinion.
Congress isn't gonna. It take an act of during the act of God to get an amendment changed off the Constitution, not a law, but an amendment changed off the Constitution. So I mean, I see the good. I see both sides of the coin. I see the good, the pros and the cons of it. I
Sean,
mean,
there is
I
no pros
mean,
and cons. It don't make sense.
why doesn't it make sense?
If it was designed for one particular people, but other people using it and abusing, not only are they using it, they're abusing it.
Well, we
There's
already know
no
that.
two sides to it. There's only one side to it.
Well, we already know that any legislation that was put in place to help or create, and I use the word loosely, create a equal playing field for blacks. Like Claude Anderson
This
said,
girl talking about alumni.
they use a lot of ambiguous
Oh,
words and terminology to make it all inclusive. So
Absolutely,
I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
so
That's
so,
why
so I
that's why the
I
word
understand.
minority exists.
Right. So I understand that what it was intended for, but they use like Zero just said, they use ambiguous terms like minority and stuff like that. All.
that's what it
Right.
messed up at. Miss Girl, you got two alumni up here.
But the new one
Miss
is people of color. The new
Hey
one is
Uh,
Sean.
people of color. All minority means is not a white dude. All person of color means is not white. And why and until black people reject that term, watch us get the short end of that stick too.
I agree with you. Hey Sean, that the lady that's in there, Miss Curl,
uh,
she's the owner of Grounds Barber College.
oh, okay.
That's why she said
Yeah,
I'm alumni. You got two alumni up here, Miss
yeah,
Curl. One that
I'm an
said White
alum.
Low up there.
I'm alumni too from Old Grams. Yes, sir. But I just, yeah, I think a lot of it is leadership, and I think Reggie had mentioned it. Several people have mentioned it. It comes down to finding the right leadership, and just because they put a Bible on it, just because they the same skin tone you are, and just because they're a Democrat, that doesn't
Bro,
qualify them to be the leader.
I was gonna say bring Tim up, but it's about time to shut it down. Man, Tim, you see what Tim put up here, bro?
It was Mexico, so just because they were bullied out, they should be allowed.
Man, come on, Tim.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Tim is asking a question, not making a statement. So I think he's like looking for opinions.
Oh, let me see. I see a question mark now.
What you got to say about this, Zero?
Hey, it's like this. For like most of it weren't you know wasn't bullied out. A lot of it was purchased. Some of it was taken in the course of a war. But you know, first of all, most Mexicans like Mexicans are some of the most racist people against blacks anyway, so I don't care what happens. And second, you know, everybody has a problem with this ICE and deportation thing, but until Tupe Fiasco got in office, Obama deported more than anybody. Nobody had a problem with that shit. That's what I'm
Well,
saying. It's all about the red or the blue tie to way too many people, and they ain't doing the facts and researching anything. It's all opinion based on new age what amounts to tribalism.
So Tim, you saying that so every country that won some territory in a battle, the people they beat for the territory should automatically be citizens in their country. Is that what you're saying? I mean, like,
That's never happened in the
what kind of
history.
logic is
That's
that?
never happened in the history of war.
That's what I'm saying. What kind of logic is that, bro?
Yeah, war. That's just part of war. I mean, you fight a war, you lose.
That's what I'm saying. You lose.
You
It's
you
not
you
your country, bro.
you lose. I
You
mean,
subject to the borders, to the immigration policies that everybody else subject to. Just because we whipped y'all butt and took some of y'all land and made it part of our country, don't mean you get a break on our immigration
oh,
policies.
shit.
But
You still get
again, if
the
you
same immigration policy that everybody
a
else
lot of
got.
that land was bought. A lot of that land was
yeah,
purchased,
it
and
was
they
bought.
received compensation.
A lot
So
of it was bought. It was bought. They sold a lot of that land.
yeah.
And the thing is, globally, worldwide, it's been accepted that whatever you say, America is America. The lines of demarcation to what is and what is America has been established, and that's not changing. And
Nigerians is kicking out. Ghanaians is kicking out Nigerians right now. So what? It happens.
right.
All right, y'all. We got to save something for next week.
Yeah. Hey,
Woo!
sorry I missed
Lord.
that. Caught the tail end. Hey, but
So we didn't get to the separation of church and state.
oh yeah.
Uh, our illiteracy situation in America. Some of these people can't read. Have y'all seen those videos where they going around asking to
Well,
read this card?
and let's
Yeah.
get
So
on that. Let's talk about that
yeah,
Supreme Court decision on transgenders competing against women.
you
We'll
want to do
talk
that
about that.
now or next week?
No. We do it next week. We can do it next
Yeah.
week.
So
Yeah, we
we
can
hit
do it next week. We
we hit
damn
these
near
topics next week, man.
we damn near
Yeah,
3 hours. Well,
and I gotta eat something.
y'all done cooked the shit. Eat. Y'all been cooking the whole time. Shit.
Hey,
So
look,
what we got? So what
we
we
still
got
had
next
7
week?
people in there with us though. We was cooking tonight. We had some people
Oh
still
yeah.
hanging in there with us.
Nah,
We
I was
got
looking at the numbers. We held at least 12 the whole time. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what's up.
so we
All
got
right.
next week. What again, Jason? Real quick. What's the
Uh,
next week? The suggested.
separation of church and state.
Okay.
Illiteracy, illiteracy situation. Um, Democratic Party being overran by socialists, democratic socialists. Every young man should be required to serve at least 2 years in the military. Yes or no? The effects of fatherless homes.
Wow, that's a lot. You think we gonna get
I
through
mean,
all
no.
that the
I'm
way
not
Yeah,
we
saying.
go
that's a
at
lot. That is a lot.
it?
I'm not saying we're gonna do it all in one day.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just
Well,
saying we got
and,
these are topics that we can pick from.
and
Yeah.
again, like I said, that Supreme Court decision on transgender males competing against
Yeah, Miss Curl, thanks for hanging in there with us.
women.
appreciate it, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.
So yeah, if y'all got more topics for me to add to the list, just shoot them my way.
All
Man,
right. Well, I
I don't
appreciate
know,
y'all.
cool. That's a lot of topics. You might have to start doing twice a week.
Hey,
No,
We got
hey, I got
we got lives,
hey,
bro. We got lives out here. We
yeah,
had to
man.
look, we all had trouble carving out this one day.
Yeah, well, see, I'm working on a couple of shows, man, and I'm also trying to really get a sports show together before football season kick off, so we can do
LeBron
sports.
is no longer a Laker. Thank God.
So hey,
Yeah, they're
I'm
doing that
trying to get
during
all that
recess.
put together.
Y'all lost LeBron and Kawhi
LeBron
Leonard.
is not a loss, bro. He been messing that team up for 8 years. I'm glad he's gone. He can kick
Wait a
rocks and
minute
so
now.
can Bron.
Wait a minute. Zero. LeBron got y'all a championship. He brought
That
y'all
bubble
Anthony.
chip we don't care about.
Wait a minute, but hold on. He brought y'all Anthony Davis, which in turn got y'all Luca. And Jenny busting them. How much money did they make when they sold the team?
Okay, and that's cool for them. I ain't get a penny of that. And now we might. And now the Lakers is looking at an all white starting five. It's snow
Man,
time instead of showtime.
look, we going somewhere else. Like,
Yeah. Welcome to the cool reviews. Step into the scene where the voices stay loud and the vibes stay clean. Talking sports, love, life. What's making the news? If it's happening right now, it's